she was going to go and get it and give it to me, and I said, no, baby.
Bueno.
No.
It's a good friend.
I don't know who is that best.
You put that one in its place. And then they have to deal with the dirty ones.
No. I am not going to give my chat to other people.
That's what happened to you?
Yeah, but other people are like that, you know. Yesterday was so cool. Baby showed me a rice. It's very long one.
Rice?
See, and it's delicious. I want to buy that one. She put that in here.
Like fucking always hammering him, but yeah, he drank.
Yeah. H-Mart.
What do you think people are gonna go into Georgia and Iowa? Did your dad drink? I'm like, oh god.
Oh my god. Yeah.
You should have seen it.
Depends on like whether they want to have the conversation or not. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, I don't really feel like giving you an hour right now. Yeah.
Hey, you have time?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fucking. I would be curious to see.
I told you my dad ate, right? Like, so we came up, you and I mean, in the era where all of a sudden information became accessible about nutrition and fitness. You know what I mean? And now it's like other levels. Like, and somebody who
undergraduate and graduate econ minor and major.
Yeah, so
What's that?
those are like the type of college she's going. She wants 2 years, 4 years, 6 years, 8 years, etc. She wants associates, 4 years.
4 years? Associate?
So, I don't know, I think perhaps it's different in Spanish.
But says undergraduate
No, undergraduate and graduate is for after the first 4 years. That's if you want to get your master's or your doctor's.
and minor and major.
See, so what does she want to study? She want to study journalism. She want to study being a doctor. She want to study fashion. She want to study what? English, French. What is her major? That's like your special. And then your minor is like your backup plan.
So minor is after.
No, you study both at the same time, but you focus on the major. So you would say like, I have a major in economics with a minor in business. That means you study mainly economics, but you also take business classes. So you are a business economics.
Bueno, él dice que major es como en lo que tú te quieres enfocar. Por ejemplo, yo estudié mercado, publicidad y venta, entonces yo, el major es marketing, pero el minor es que yo estudié marketing, pero también vi cosas de publicidad y ventas, ¿me entiendes? No, I need my best because it has pocket.
just wants to get involved in fitness can just go down their phone and learn so much. Like the information is so readily available. So I was like, oh, so like when you were lifting, you know, they lifted 6 days a week.
1 day off.
1 day off, and most of their lifting sessions were 2.5 hours, right? Right, and yeah, like we're talking about squats, power, clean and jerk, press, strict press, push press, like, you know, just like all these lifts. 2.5 hours usually was the amount, and I'm like, oh, and so like, what kind of like vitamins and stuff do you take? And he was like, what are you talking about? I'm like, did you take like anything? And he was like what? I'm like a fucking supplement or anything? And he was like, no, we didn't do that in those days. I'm like, what'd you eat? He's like, steak. And I go, how often? He's like, for dinner. I'm like, every day? Yeah. I'm like, what else? Like potatoes? Steak and potatoes 6 days a week? And he was like, yeah, usually.
Stay hydrated? And he was like, I have milk.
Like, no, yeah, Diet Coke. And that's just all, like, they had zero regard for nutrition. It was just lift, eat a steak. And that was it.
Do you think if we, what if we invest, this is going to sound crazy. What if we sign a village in Africa? We sign them, right? We
sign them?
Sign the whole village. We sign the whole village, but we get rights to their children as pro athletes. We sign the whole village. So we no, me and you. No, we're fucking philanthropers. Philanthropers.
Philanthropists?
Yeah. So what we do is we go in and we say we go into Tanzania, right? The Maasai are tall as fuck. Okay.
Okay.
So we go into type in the tallest
tribe
in Africa. By the way, we can do this in Middle America. We can do this in Central America.
I'll just say the optics.
And do baseball.
The optics are great.
Well, you think this is a bad idea? I know what it's sounding like.
Your black children are ours. Anyway.
No. That's not my thing. We're philanthropers.
Okay.
Robert Waldo is the tallest.
There you go.
Okay, we go to Rwanda. The Tutsis, they've got some problem with the Hutus. So we go to the Tutsis.
Where are the tallest people in Africa? Hit that next drop down. Dinka.
In Rwanda,
Wow.
the Tutsis.
Really?
So we go in.
I thought there was a taller
We
tribe.
take. So like I was thinking of this because I was thinking of.
Go to the next one below. That one. That's what you said before, right?
Maasai. The Maasai are 6.2.
Yeah, that's taller.
They're taller. So the Maasai are tall as fuck. They're all tall. The women are beautiful. Everything's fucking. Everyone's tall as shit
Right.
there.
And we signed their kids. You said.
No. So we go in. We go in, and what we do is we basically sign the village, right?
Okay.
We sign the village, and so I was watching this thing on the Queen. So the Queen
Where is
worth.
this?
Okay, hear me out.
Okay.
So the Queen Britain went through, and they basically signed these cities, right?
Mm-hmm.
They took over these cities, and then they took all their fucking
Resources,
all their diamonds and shit.
Yeah,
and then they made tons of money. I'm trying to do this for us. I'm still on this track of being billionaires. So then they made tons of money, and then what happened is the British Empire the Queen and them, they just kept the fucking money.
Right.
And then they let all the places go, and they didn't reinvest. Well, what I think should happen is the Queen if Charles is who's the bald redhead that's going to be king one day.
Yeah,
Andrew.
Okay.
The other one.
Charles and Henry.
Whatever. I don't know. The fucking one that
Prince Charles, right?
Yeah.
No. Hold on.
Who's this kid? The fucking Harry and
Harry. Yeah, Harry and.
Okay, let's do this. Say it's Harry because he's the one that's like super woke. Right?
William.
What they should do is they should go back and reinvest in these places like Jamaica, British Virgin Islands,
Like Chick-fil-A's and like
reinvest
water parks.
and give them infrastructure
Oh,
because they
okay.
have all this fucking money and they have these countries that could use help.
Right.
And if they want to look woke like they say they are,
Yeah.
they should go in and reinvest. Right.
Okay.
So, what if me and you go in, right? We invest in a place. Make it nice for the whole village, right? We upgrade. Everyone's got beds. We get soccer mattresses. We get. Everyone's got a whoop. We got everyone gets everything. All our sponsors. We invest in the city, and then we go. Here's the deal. We just want to sign the city to Two Bear Sports Management. So what we'd like is a first look deal at all your young talent, right?
Okay, yeah.
First look deal at all your young talent. Hey guys, we're good guys. Everyone's got fucking Lugsy jeans on.
Yeah,
you know? Right? Yeah. Hey,
Right.
did you guys say you wanted a Bud Light? Here you go.
Yeah, here you
You're
go.
right.
Yeah.
So, hey, who wants a liquid death? Right?
Yeah, sure.
So everyone's got good shit. Now, probably once we get our first athlete, we start making real money. We really start building everyone houses. Everyone's got like track housing, and it's like we put Wi-Fi in there. Everyone's got iPads. We step it up, but we do it. Our thing is, those people are going to reinvest back in their communities. But what we're getting is like 3%, but we're getting our 3%, right?
Right.
And we're looking for athletes. We can do it in Latin America. We go to Latin America, we look for middle infielders, and we just go to like small villages.
Or the real money would be in finding the next soccer phenom, like the Neymar.
See,
Messi.
this is what I like when you team up with me.
Yeah.
Because we can do what Tiger Woods' dad did for Tiger.
We just park a couple eyeballs in Argentina and Brazil, and we go. You find that kid. You fucking go to their house with Bud Light tonight.
How much do you want to bet that they're already doing this?
Oh yeah.
How much do you want to bet there's already sports agencies doing this?
Yeah.
Where they go, I guarantee you there's sports agencies fucking doing this.
I love when you get passionate about
Dude, this is a $1 million idea.
I know.
We go into the fucking Tanzania and we fucking make some fucking money.
Yeah.
This is what they did in Oslo. See?
Well, yeah. That's right. He discovered. You see that movie?
No, I heard
it's fucking
awesome.
great. It's great.
It's about making $1 billion, Tommy. And we're good guys, so you know we'll do right by the village.
Yeah.
And we'll set them up.
I'm a little worried about the optics, but I think we could probably.
I think once you know what, the optics change once we bring out a Jordan, or a Tiger, or a Warren Sapp, like a legit, like a Ronaldo, a Sammy Sosa,
sure,
a Mark McGuire, a fucking
I got
Randy
it.
Johnson,
I got it.
a Nolan Ryan. We're talking phenoms.
Yeah.
We just go in. We have the eye for talent. We find these guys. We go, hey, look, okay, you want to change optics? Let's do it in a small town in Appalachia, right? We
might be sitting for a while.
Okay, you're right about that.
Okay.
I'd rather go where the talent is, but fine. If we're going to worry about optics, we go into a small town in Appalachia.
We need to go to like somewhere in Brazil. Just park in Brazil somewhere.
I love when you think with me.
And you got to go. You got to have somebody in the the favelas. Like that's where they're going to find them.
Yeah.
Somebody really, really poor.
It's me. It's me. I have like a kind of a beat up fedora, and I'm supposed to be smoking cigars.
You might have to be there for a minute. Okay?
I live there, dude.
Okay.
I live there. I get a little motorcycle, drive up and down, spend my mornings on the beach, come up.
How are you going to work it into your touring?
Dude, I'm changing my life.
Okay.
I'm getting out of touring, Tommy. This is Two Bear Sports Management.
Yeah.
I'll have a newspaper, like a Brazilian newspaper, and I'll be sitting there with
cigar,
like in khakis, with a cigar and an open Maiveta with a hat, and I'll have my glasses on like this, and then this is the look when I see the talent. Ready, Tom?
Yeah.
I'm looking at my paper and I go like this. Siri, call Skinny Tommy Buns. Tell him we got him. And then all of a sudden, do you think that people listen to me, and do you think there's some people that go, he's not that far off? Or do you think the majority of people are like,
you know what your ideas are?
Saying this?
Your ideas are like AI art. It's just a couple degrees off from what it should be.
You can find a cage fighter. Yeah. You can find a cage fighter.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Where?
Fucking
anywhere.
The old school Russia, where back where they're all fighting to get out.
Oh yeah.
Like Crimea.
Yeah.
You go to Crimea and you'll find a cage fighter easy.
Yeah.
You can see, but I bet that's probably the easy. Okay.
Some kid who's like easiest 15 who was like, I've been in 150 fights.
15, 7 with that look in his eyes.
Yeah.
I bet, I gotta be dead honest with you, I think we got one growing in your house. I could see Ellis. Ellis has a little bit of a cage fight in him.
Do you know what I did? Dude, it was so fucking amazing. So you posted, or did you post it or somebody posted that Polytunes did the, that Polytunes animates stories from Rogan?
Yeah, yeah.
And he animated you telling Rogan about Ellis giving you...
I haven't seen it.
It's so funny, right? So I happened to see it. So somebody else did it, and I retagged it. I reposted it.
Yeah. The dog father moment. I gotta get
there. It is. So it's this, and I'm home. So it's you telling Joe about this.
Yeah.
And then you're like, have you met Tom's kids? And they isolate this moment, and then they animate it. So I'm watching it at home, and Ellis is like, "What is that?" And I go, "Actually, it's a story about you." Dude, he comes over my shoulder and watches this thing. I've never seen him more mesmerized in my life. He's like, there's like stories about me out there. And I was like, well, I can't really explain how all this works. And this is you being like, you take a sip of water. And he's like, nope.
This is awesome.
Yeah, it's great. He had me replay it for him so many times.
For real?
Yeah. And you curse a lot retelling the story.
Yeah.
And he thinks it's the greatest thing ever. He's like, that's fed sticks. I'm like, I know.
Yeah, we could get Ellis into cage fighting. Would you let him be a cage fighter?
I mean, I would let him train for, jiu-jitsu and stuff.
I was taking jiu-jitsu.
She is?
Yeah. I'm not sure she knows what jiu-jitsu is.
It's
First day, she goes, I'm ready for a little hi-ya! And I go, like, that's not what that is.
Yeah. But
that's fucking great.
He loved it, dude. He loved the story about him.
I guess Paulie Tunes has a little body dysmorphia when he looks at everyone, huh? Tom and Joe are jacked, and I look like a fat fucking piece of shit there, Paulie?
No.
Really? Paulie, look at Joe's jawline, and then look at me. My hairline looks good.
Well, it's cartoon. It's cartoon. He's just exaggerating features.
That's the weirdest thing is they had those caricatures at the fucking roller coaster places.
Oh yeah.
Theme parks.
Theme parks. Yeah.
And I remember we were doing one, and I was like, and the guy was just drawing like the most racist pictures of people.
Sure.
There's like an Asian person with a straw hat going like, oh,
Yeah.
and you're like, easy, buddy.
Yeah.
And he's like, and then if you did black people, like he just accentuate.
Yeah, that's what they do.
The most racist, and I was like, is it a little? I couldn't stop laughing. Going, is anyone finding this insensitive? And
I mean, they kind of sign up for it. They know if you have any feature, he's just gonna exaggerate it.
Yeah, he did mine, and he was just like big shoulders.
Yeah, that's what he did.
I hope Tiger Woods doesn't hate us now, because I would like to spend some private time with him. I think he's sober.
My hair is so cute.
I don't think Tiger's gonna hang after this one.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
Did we just burn that bridge?
I think so.
Let's burn another bridge. Okay, we're talking heroes in sports, right?
In sports,
Like, okay, I'll name a name. You tell me. Nature versus nurture. Okay.
I mean, a lot of it's going to be a combination, though, isn't it? Okay, go ahead.
Peyton Manning.
He was born with the prototype size.
Yeah.
And the obsessiveness. That guy was never not going to be.
Really? What about Eli?
1,000%. A bit of the same. I think a little less obsessive than Peyton though.
Yeah. I guess Peyton's son
Yeah.
is a fucking phenom.
Really? I didn't know.
That's what I just. What's his name's Archie, I think.
They are not.
No, Marshall Manning. Who's Arch? There's another one, Archie Manning. They named their kid after their dad.
Yeah.
And that kid's fucking.
Football player right there. The one underneath.
Yeah, that's it.
Let's see.
Look at this kid.
Wait. No, that's the dad still.
No, there's
Junior? No. He's struggling today with the spelling.
Yeah, you're having a hard time, huh? Archie Manning Jr. Yeah, look at this kid.
Oh.
Oh, he plays over at UT. He's here.
Yeah.
He commits to Texas.
Number 1 overall. So that is the.
You're gonna bump into him over at Frank Black's.
Give me the bio on Archie Manning Jr. though. Like,
Kid's fucking good. I saw him play.
Not the image, the bio.
On whatchamacallit.
Really?
Yeah, online I saw him. They were showing me. It was like a highlight reel of his, and I was like, "Oh, the kid's fucking got it." And then you start going. So is being a great quarterback just in that bloodline, or is it something that their dad did? Oh, dude, do you know what a badass Archie Manning was? The dad. I watched a documentary on the dad. First of all, still married to his high school or his college sweetheart.
Look at that size, dude. 6'4", 215.
Who's that?
That's the kid. That's the one you were just talking about.
Shut the fuck up.
So how is he? What's his personal life? He is the oldest son of Cooper. Oh, okay, that's the kid that didn't play in the NFL.
Yeah, but they were supposedly the best. Had a neck injury.
Right. That was they used to throw to him. He was a receiver on the high school team, and the nephew of Peyton and Eli. Okay. Wow.
So, so Archie Manning, right? I saw I don't know if it was a Football Life or something.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, one of the best programs ever.
Yeah, Football Life is great.
It's so good. Archie bad motherfucker, right? Goes to Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't Tennessee. It was Ole Miss.
Ole Miss, yeah.
Goes to Ole Miss, meets his current wife, like first week of school or whatever, she's still hot. Eli and fucking Peyton's mom is still hot. Fucking 74.
That didn't get passed down in the genetics, did it?
They don't have their mom's looks.
They look like fucking. They look like everyone's supposed to clap when they throw the ball. You know.
They did not look. They did not have Olivia Williams Manning. She was a tennis professional.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a tennis professional.
Lady.
Still beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so, dude, and this is like a little morbid, but this is when you talk about a man. I don't have what Archie Manning has. Ready?
Yeah.
So Archie Manning's should be going back to college, but he's like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna stick around. I'm gonna have a steak with my dad, right? Sisters are out. I'm gonna go home and have a steak with my dad. Goes home. His dad's killed himself. Get this. He doesn't want his mom and sister to see this. So he cleans up everything. Takes the bed outside, burns it. Cleans up his dad, presents his dad, goes, takes care of it.
Jesus.
Dude, I don't have that in me at all. And when we're talking about nature versus nurture, that's the dad, that brain raised 2 fucking pro athletes. That's their dad. Their dad, I mean, for all intents and purposes, got rid of a body so that his mom wouldn't have to hurt.
Yeah.
Could you do that? I couldn't have done it. I couldn't do it. I would be crying in a puddle.
What road?
That's a badass motherfucker.
No.
That's their dad. No. And by the way, I bet he's never talked a day about that in his life to his kids. Just
Probably
goes,
not.
man, Adele, I saw it. Well, life was different back then.
Yeah. Yeah, it's different. It's definitely a different mentality. But I still think that those kids, dude, they probably would have been NFL quarterbacks.
You think?
In a lot of households, yeah. Now they can't move for shit, but they know how to fucking throw the ball, read the field. They are gifted at what they did.
Who's better quarterback?
Yeah.
Michael Vick or Peyton Manning?
Well, Michael Vick's like such an other level athlete. It's like you can't compare their athleticism.
But I guarantee you can compare it in the Hall of Fame.
Well, they're not. But also, his career kind of got derailed when he went to prison.
Yeah, that was bullshit.
He was the problem, dude.
Dude,
Did you watch Lamar Jackson play?
I love Lamar Jackson.
I've seen him play in person once, and I was like, oh, because this doesn't register on television. How quick he is. And then I was watching the game against the Bengals, and I was like, what in the fuck, man? Like,
can I tell you that's
it's
so
impossible
funny.
to defend, and as soon as you get used to going up, we just got to account for his speed and running. He just throws that thing. He was a bit inaccurate that game, but still, like the combination of being able to throw the ball and run like that, you realize why it's a generational talent. Like, crazy.
So funny you say Lamar Jackson. Yesterday, I'm watching him play, and I thought, I want my stand-up to be more like the way Lamar Jackson plays football, because it's just fun as fuck.
It's fun.
He does, like, I saw him get hit, and they cut to him, and he has a big smile on his face.
His read options are like, it's just, you can't plan for a quarterback that can throw and run a 4.25 40 or whatever.
I drink the way Lamar Jackson plays football.
There you go.
I drink the way if you had to say your comedy was like one professional quarterback, who would you say your comedy is like?
Only you think in these terms.
Who would you think your comedy is like? Troy Aikman?
Just boring. but reliable.
No, but very good. Championship level. Who would you say your comedy? What quarterback? Doug Williams?
I don't know. I can't.
Pull up the starting quarterbacks in the NFL right now. You're more like a Jared Goff.
What
a weird last name. Goff. Okay. Marcus Mariota. Kyler Murray. You're not Kyler Murray. You're like
no, it's definitely Aaron Rodgers.
You are Aaron Rodgers.
He doesn't
You are Aaron Rodgers.
He doesn't like people.
You are Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I've been around for a while.
You're Aaron Rodgers.
I know what I'm doing.
You're Aaron Rodgers.
And you're kind of like him again. It's like, yeah, but
you have a good relationship with Rogan. You're Aaron Rodgers. You've taken ivermectin.
Yeah, man.
You're
stuff.
Aaron Rodgers. Wait, who's my stand-up like?
Oh God, pull up that list again.
My
More, get the full list.
Get the
so
full list. Get the
hard.
guys who are about to retire.
My lip hurts too.
You got to be more of a like.
Like, who's John Mulaney like? John Mulaney is more like,
It's so
You need chapstick.
Well, I think of Mulaney. I mean, I'm trying. Some of it happens. You start
You
thinking
want
about
the
aesthetics
drop,
too.
baby?
yeah.
You know,
I'm trying to
for
think.
1 minute.
because immediately when you say him, I'm like, oh, he's Brady.
Yeah, he's
You know,
Brady.
like-
yeah, a little bit.
Like super polished.
Super polished. Kind of like up, like keeps it tight.
Yeah. I don't know why we're having such a.
I know this
you
is
can't
crazy. You know, a lot of
pull
people
up
can just
one
look up.
goddamn
fucking-
list.
Yeah, go back to Lamar Jackson.
God,
Michael
you
Vick.
suck.
They're the Manning brothers. There's this kid.
Who are the starting quarterbacks in the NFL?
Oh, this is good. I missed this, Nadav. We should see if we can. We should see if we can do a. Can I tell you what I want to do with you?
What?
Baby, I
Gumball.
told them about
Oh, the drive?
Thanksgiving.
You want to do that?
Yeah,
They say yes.
We can do that.
Might know.
You really want to?
I really want to do it.
It's
I
Thursday.
really want to do it. Pull up the 2022 gumball.
Always
We'll get this
Thursday.
next week.
Hold on.
That's good.
So I don't
Okay.
work any-
I'm more like Tannehill, probably.
You're like Roethlisberger because he's out of the league and he ripped somebody. No, you are.
I'm like Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Let's see.
Nick
Well, a lot of these
Foles.
guys are not playing though.
Yeah.
Like these are not.
Drew Brees.
These are-
to, like,
there's a
believe
bunch
in
of
God.
retired
Bart
guys
Starr.
here.
No, Bart Starr. I'm like Bart Starr. Just type in the 2022
All right.
gumball.
Okay, maybe this would be it. Let's see. Is this
Said,
it?
I'm good. My
Kind of.
family was here
Um,
visiting, so I
No,
was
it's
off.
the 21
Okay.
starters.
I met Joe Flacco one time.
Those guys are not all in the league. Never mind.
Might
Alex Smith.
Just never mind. This is too big a task.
Hey, type in the 2022 gumball. Let's see what it is. Let's see if we can pit or 2023 gumball. So this year's almost over. Race. Gumball race. Yeah. Okay. 3,000 tickets and venues. Where is it this year? North America. Just scroll down, yeah, so that we can't find it. There we go.
All right.
Gumball 3000.
Is a.
It's in the Middle East?
Hold on.
That I could do.
Touching down on every continent to create one of the greatest bucket list experiences possible behind a wheel. Oh my! You would do this?
Yeah, I do it with you. Me and you, we got a fucking hot car. What kind of car would we get?
Oh no! Let's see what do people? Oh fuck! That's a McLaren. Like, do people get in those and do
Oh
this?
yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Okay, which rally are you
Oh,
interested in
well,
applying
let's
for?
do. I'll do. Well, yours probably safer for guys like me and you. I don't know if Middle East is exactly what we want to do. Type
Okay.
in your
Full name. Okay, whatever.
Tom Leadfoot Segura.
Okay.
Date of birth. This is. Are we signing up for it right
I
now?
don't know. Let's just see what this says. Let's take us there.
It doesn't matter. Just
Yeah.
give them 11,372. 9/11. Why would you put that?
Okay.
How? With home business address. We'll just type in the business address here.
What are we doing?
Yeah, go to the. This is
Literally,
great.
I can't believe it can get worse.
So you can get any car you want. I think you can drive any car you want. You can drive an
Okay.
ambulance.
All right, hold on. Okay. So it's going to take place in North America, and then it stops at each of those cities. Is that the whole thing?
No, that's 2022. That's already happened.
But I mean, is that what happens? You go from city to city.
Yeah, I think you go. Like down the coast or across the country,
Holy shit!
and like you got to do it in like 23 hours. Like people do, you fucking fly. So what we do is we get spotters. We use our. This is what I've been thinking about this a lot. Okay, we get our team. First of all, we're gonna need costumes. Okay,
Yeah.
we're gonna need costumes. We're gonna need like a car. You know, I didn't realize Cannonball Run was actually based on the actual gumball, the Cannonball Run.
No, I didn't
Did a
know that.
real thing where they all and the thing is you don't want to get pulled over. That's why they dressed as cops. They dressed as priests. They dressed as in an ambulance. Like they dressed in a character so they can get pulled over. But what we do is we lean into our fans to be our spotters. We got fans in every city, right?
Yeah.
So we just go, hey, let us know where the cops are, clear out ways for us, right?
Yeah.
And we get like spotters. So say we're
Scroll
going
back up.
Say we're going through fucking St. Louis. We get a guy that we meet right before we hit in the city, right? We see him outside the city. He flies in front of us fast at like 70 miles. Cops pull him over. We go through at 120. We could do this, and I think we could win it.
Would you drive that fast?
Yeah, I would.
She's going to work today, so.
Bam Margera and Ryan Dunn from Jackass did in a Lamborghini Gallardo.
Yeah.
Tony Hawk and Mike Valley did it in a Jeep Cherokee.
So today is going to.
I think we could do this. What kind of car would we want to take?
Ooh.
What would be the best car? We got. I mean,
You want to haul ass?
we got to go like 140 miles an hour.
Well, there are some actually. There's some pretty wild.
When you are talking with someone,
Like if you want to be comfy, you know, like some of those.
What?
you can use chatting when you are talking with someone.
I don't know what that means.
Chatting
Use chatting. What?
when you are talking with someone.
I don't know. What are you?
Like,
What
I
is use
want-
chatting?
I was chatting with her.
Oh, I see. Yeah, use the word chatting. See. Why are you so confusing right now?
No, it's because you are focusing your game and you don't like when I'm talking to you.
See, I like, but when you ask me a million questions,
Really?
see,
There's only one.
no. Okay.
Baby, it's been 8 days with the tank of my gas in my car.
When
8 days, $45.
see,
And I have a lot of gas here.
yeah, me too.
Yeah. We use my car for everything else. Yeah, it's better like that.
See.
SU, like you know, like the Lamborghini
Yeah.
Urus
It's so
and all
annoying
stuff. We
because
could
as soon
get
as
like
I play,
I think a
then you
911
talk.
Turbo S would be the
Let's
shit.
see that. Type that in.
That's
and then
not
I
a
wait
SUV. That's a
for you
that's
to
a
talk
sports
and you
car,
say
but
nothing.
That is fast as fuck. That would be fun to do it in. You know, that you can get like
Yeah.
comfort seats and they fly.
Then we get one of those and we just fly across country. I wouldn't mind doing it in the Middle East.
Yeah.
And that way we're lawless. Like if something we get pulled over, we can just kill the dude. Well, I don't think it's not even like we'll just say like he stole something from us.
Yeah. Just go with our guns.
I think
just
you
shoot
can. I'm
'em.
not even joking. I'm pretty sure in those areas where they're driving, you could probably kill someone and not get in a ton of trouble.
I mean, we're
What
going.
are you writing? Nope. I'm not your area of the Middle East, Nadav.
But we're going with guns if we go.
Oh, we're
armed.
definitely carrying
Yeah.
guns.
Yeah.
We're gonna have guns. We're gonna have weapons. We're gonna have drugs. We're gonna get a lot of cocaine. Oh,
Dude, I will sign up for this with you.
let's do it. Let's do the gumball. The Two Bears Racing Gumball. That's our initiative race. I'm sure we can get sponsors. We put it all on fucking social media.
Okay.
We fucking haul ass. Middle East or Europe, Nadav? Which one do you think? Europe is probably a little more accountable. Middle East, we can get away with wild shit there. What cities? Type in what cities does the gumball 2000, the 3000 gumball hit in the Middle East, or states, or whatever, continents, whatever. You know, but I don't think it's cities. Like I don't think they have cities the way we have cities.
Okay. Okay. Where does the take place? The first one or no?
Maximilian Cooper. What a fucking name. Maximilian.
Dubai
to Abu Dhabi.
That's coming up.
Dubai to Abu Dhabi. We can make that. So type in Google Maps Dubai to Abu Dhabi. I guarantee you we have to go through the Crescent Valley.
You must be able to just fucking haul
ass Dubai to Abu Dhabi.
Okay.
Fuck yes, Tom. What if it's too late for us to sign up? Oh my god.
That can't be the whole thing.
That's easy peasy. It's a 2-hour drive.
That can't be it. That's got to be like one. That's one leg.
That's a 2-hour drive on bus.
Yeah, that's not it.
Wait, maybe it's just a sprint race. Maybe that's a sprint race.
We really can't find the. There we go. Is that it?
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does it say? Does it say where? Oh.
Oh.
It really is just that?
No. It's good. It's a loop.
Oh yeah,
you gotta go to
yeah.
Muskrat, then all the way down to Salachaka, Jebel Akbarb, Abu Dhabi, Dubai,
Okay,
and then back to.
That's the run. Okay, hold on. Scroll down. Amazing country of Oman, rally finale Abu Dhabi. Yeah, we're making major stops. Jebel Akbar, Salah. Muscat. Okay. Wow, that would be. You want to do that one?
Yeah, that would be fun as fucking shit.
You know, there would be a bunch of like fucking princes and shit racing with us.
Dude, you realize that? Hold on, we've always talked about being best friends of the prince too.
Yeah.
And this is our fucking in.
Yeah.
And dude, the shit that we can do in these countries is unfucking.
I think you're really going into this with some Wild West fucking.
I have some really fucking big, dude.
No,
I'm not even fucking
I
around.
don't want you to be late.
I'll tell you, okay, let's do this.
going on?
You can punch a man in the face over there, and no one, you don't go to
I
jail.
spent 20 or 25.
You punch a man in the face, you just say like he insulted my family, and they're fucking. You don't go to jail. I'm being dead serious.
Yeah.
In Abu Dhabi, you can't drink alcohol. That's the one thing. But I think you do everything else.
I gotta go. Because always
Okay.
Dude, we got a prince to back us, like to.
It's muy cool.
Sí.
So I have to search where I go, to
Yeah.
wave,
We dress
cars
as chic.
go.
We're going fully armed. I'm talking like MPX, maybe AKs or something.
I
a
think
couple side pieces.
we James Bond out our vehicle.
Yeah.
I think we send it up.
Why don't we take an Aston Martin instead?
Let's Google Aston Martin.
Oh,
yes,
dude.
Yeah, well, yeah. Let's not burn in one of these fucking German Nazi
Be fun.
mobiles. Let's get in a fucking Aston Martin and look like fucking gentlemen. Tom, let's get fitted suits. Let's do the whole thing in suits. In suits in Aston Martins, and we have fucking firearms.
How would you go to these pictures?
What Aston Martin do we want?
They would make like a DB11 or maybe let's see. That'd be fun, right?
Dude, that would be a fucking blast. Fly through Abu Dhabi in one of those. You ever go on? What's the old?
Oh wait, type in Aston Martin Valhalla. Why don't we take that?
I like that. I like the name of that already. Valhalla.
That. I think they're only like.
Shut the fuck up.
I think they're only like $3 million.
Let's see the interior. I want to see what I'm going to be sitting in for fucking 24 hours. There's only one seat. There's only one seat. There's only one fucking seat.
$2 million.
It's only one fucking seat.
I think there's
There's no radio.
No, we sit together. We sit together.
What I put a hammock?
Yeah, it's fucking perfect. No, there's another seat there.
Yeah, there's another seat. Oh, we are in like cockpits,
Dude,
this is the fucking ride,
if we don't win the thing, we're fucked.
dude. First of all, we get what we do is we get a slush fund, right?
Yeah.
So like we get like some get out of jail money
Okay.
to bribe to grease the palms. Pack of cigarettes, dude. They're really big on carton cigarettes. Carton of cigarettes goes a long way over there. I've seen the movie.
You see that? Okay.
Carton of cigarettes are like, hey, my man.
My bad,
you know?
my bad. I didn't.
Oh, hold on, Tom. We fucking load up our car with firearms. Firearms and cigarettes is our way to get through here.
Yeah.
Firearms, cigarettes, and Johnny Walker Black.
Yeah.
Every time we get pulled over, we go, hey, buddy,
Hey, yeah.
give him one of these and a fucking AK and some cigarettes. And he's like, oh, I don't see anything.
Yeah.
Dude,
You guys were doing 180. It's kind of a lot.
you almost killed my fucking camel. I fucking...
That's good. That's good. Keep talking. Keep talking.
I think, they do camels with drones now.
Really?
Yeah, because they were fucking killing these little boys over there. And now they do camel racing, and they have drones on the back of the camel, and they have these fucking... We should get a Bentley. That's what sheiks ride around in is Bentleys.
They do, and they're fucking nice.
A Bentley Wraith. We get a Wraith. And
That's a Rolls Royce.
Okay, same. Right?
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
And we get a fucking... This could be big for us.
This really could be. Let's explore this idea a little more.
I'm by the way, I'm in.
Okay.
I'm in. Hold on. I'm in. And what happens, Tom? This is an event.
Yeah.
This is like we can make some money off this because we'll record the whole thing. We'll turn it into a documentary. Put it on fucking Moment House. Moment House is jacking off right now, going yeah. Or we sell it to Netflix. Whoa! We got ins at Netflix. Why are we going to Moment House? No offense, Moment House, but like, what the fuck? Why don't we sell this to? Dude, I guarantee you, Netflix will be like, we will watch you guys do the gumball.
Yeah, and give guns and cigarettes away to local people.
I'm really bringing guns.
I know.
I'm really bringing guns.
Yeah.
And what we do is we link up with Russell Peters, is going to have a couple sheiks in his pocket that will have guns for us. Dude, I am so into Indian women too. Like we get a couple of like Middle Eastern hot chicks in the back, just for eye candy, just to make the show a little more palatable.
Sure.
Right? FaceTime our wives all the time so they know we're not doing anything.
Yeah, sure.
Dude, I'm telling you, I bet Netflix would buy this.
Oh, totally.
Netflix, soft pitch. Ready? Burt Kreischer and Tom Segura are driving 180 miles per hour
in the Middle East,
loaded to the tits with alcohol, drugs, guns, and cigarettes. It's called Gumball Go. I'm telling you, you wouldn't click on that?
Assalamu alaikum is the tag. Yeah, it's perfect. Dude.
Assalamu alaikum, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Like that's, and it's just this, us in front of an Aston Martin like this. And assalamu alaikum.
You hear the engine go, and then it goes,
and then you see two chicks, hot bikinis, but respectful with Shira Law, and they're like, and the dust clears and you just see them like this with their hair blowing.
Yeah.
Dude, would you click on, if you were going to Netflix and you saw me and you, right?
Yep.
Comics you're already familiar with firearms in front of an Aston Martin with the pyramids behind us. Bert and Tom go full gumball.
Yeah.
By the way, that's our international touring right there. We start touring Abu Dhabi because they're like, oh, I love these guys when they come over and give everyone guns and cigarettes. Take our women and dress them in fucking completely inappropriate outfits.
Yeah.
Just bastardize our country.
Yeah, totally.
You should hear them say the names of our cities. Bert didn't even know they were cities. He thought they were territories. This is a fucking... How hard do you think it would be selling Netflix?
I mean, I think we have to work on the pitch a little bit, but I think we could do it. By the way, the month, we have a week left basically, and then we should be getting together on the 1st. That's, I don't want to hard sell it, but right now we're talking about getting together all on the 1st. My question is, are you going to really let loose on the 1st, November 1st?
I probably won't drink it all, Joe's. I don't know.
Yeah. I
might lean into ayahuasca. Just
on the 1st?
Do ayahuasca on Joe's and just be like, oh, I feel... No, I'm gonna probably cut one up on the 1st on Joe's. I'll rip one off because I'm gonna be trick-or-treating with you and the boys the night before. You're gonna wear a costume. It'll be fun.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. All right, we got to get out of here.
So in summation,
yeah,
I probably would be better off than Tiger Woods.
Okay.
Eli Manning and Peyton Manning didn't get their looks from their mom. And we're doing the gumball.
Yep, in the Middle East.
In the Middle East, and we're selling it to Netflix.
We got to secure a vehicle.
We do. That's why. What kind of money do you think we can get from Netflix for this? Do you think they give us... Okay, real talk, right?
Real talk.
if they gave us $4 million to do this,
Yeah.
we could get a $2 million car, $1 million worth of drugs, alcohol, guns, right? 20,000 on suits, and we put production. We put like 80, 100, $1 million into the production.
I like the math. I like it.
I like. Can I tell you? I like a bunch of different outfits. Every day is a new outfit.
Oh, we gotta go. We gotta go.
You come out of the thing, you're like, oh shit,
Yeah.
Gucci head to toe, and then we're in just Gucci outfits.
Sure, we're gonna have fun with it.
Damn it, this is gonna be
The
fun.
guns will be the most fun part.
Guns is gonna be the best.
Because
Part
I think
of the whole
over
thing.
there we might be able to get some like anti-aircraft shit, like real things you cannot access here. Like we might be able to get tanks. Like
Dude, the fucking trailer when you hover over us on Netflix. It's
50
you
cal.
Driving 180, me out with a machine gun out of the sunroof, just and then you cut it and we slide, dust is everywhere.
Yeah.
And then you just pop out in a fucking tight ass suit, rings, fucking, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Tom Segura.
And you know what? We're gonna bribe people in your country. Like, it's fucking.
Hey, yeah, that's part of our thing is that like we don't really understand. Like, I'll be like, there will be a shot of me going, I don't understand your laws,
Yeah.
but I know everyone likes cigarettes, and the guy's like,
Hey. It's a big thing here.
Then we have one shot of you in a village. How much for the little girls, huh? All right, we got some kinks to work out.
All right. I think that's another comic. All right. So let's wrap it up.
All right, I love you.
Love you too, man.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Bert and Tom and Bert. One goes topless while the other wears a shirt. Tom tells stories and Bert's the machine. There's not a chance in hell that they'll keep it clean. Here's what we call Two Bears, One Cave. No scripts, a bit of booze, amateur partology. Dirty jokes, raunchy humor, no apologies. Here's what we call Two Bears, One Cave.
Osama bin Laden, the world's most wanted man. Not only did he pull off a devastating strike against the US homeland, but he managed to avoid capture and survive for a decade afterwards. What went wrong? And how did this notorious terrorist manage to avoid justice for so long? Turns out that the answer goes back to even before the infamous attacks. Born in Saudi Arabia, bin Laden wasn't some downtrodden underdog who became a terrorist. He grew up in luxury as the son of a billionaire construction magnate. So, how did he get radicalized? It all started when he joined Pakistani forces fighting against the Soviets in Afghanistan. But he didn't develop his unabiding hatred for the US until the Gulf War, where he saw American troops stationed on Saudi soil. So he viewed it as a desecration of the holy Muslim land. Even though the countries were allies, it didn't matter. He was determined to get revenge, and soon would form the Al-Qaeda terror group that would target US interests abroad and at home. And he didn't get a welcome reception at home. His radicalism led to him being expelled from Saudi Arabia and losing his citizenship. So he became a stateless figure looking to hide in any country that supported his cause. His first attack was in Yemen in 1992, where his team bombed a hotel full of US troops. It detonated prematurely, killing 2 civilians in the parking lot. A year later, the World Trade Center in New York was hit by a bomb in the parking garage, killing 6 people. While bin Laden was never proven to be involved, the mastermind of the attack trained in Al-Qaeda camps. And 2 years later, a car bomb exploded at a military base in Saudi Arabia, killing 7 people, including 5 Americans. Bin Laden was on the US radar now, but where was he? At this point, he was hiding out in the African nation of Sudan, which was known to be friendly to Islamic fundamentalists. But the government still had good relations with the United States, and Osama bin Laden came up in conversations between officials and the CIA. Did they offer to hand him over? It's not clear, but what is clear is that the US sniffing around his bases in that country led to bin Laden fleeing at some point, heading to his new home base in Afghanistan. Not that he told anyone. Al-Qaeda maintained a presence in Sudan, which would fool investigators for some time, and he was about to step up his operation in a big way. Until now, Al-Qaeda's attacks had been relatively small-scale, with only a few succeeding, but they were about to enter the realm of coordinated attacks, causing much greater damage. Starting with a duo of truck bombs in Kenya and Tanzania, hitting U.S. embassies in both countries in 1998. 12 Americans were killed, but the vast majority of the deaths, over 200, were locals. This was the first time most Americans had heard of Al-Qaeda, and the public wanted revenge. President Bill Clinton wasted no time in responding, but the response wouldn't have the desired effect. Operation Infinite Reach was a series of cruise missile attacks on Afghanistan and Sudan, targeting Al-Qaeda training camps. This was the first official military engagement against a non-state actor, with many anti-war activists claiming it was an illegitimate attack because the US wasn't at war with either of the nations. However, bin Laden wasn't killed by the attacks, and overall Operation Infinite Reach became a propaganda win for the extremist. This was shortly after the radical Taliban group took over Afghanistan, and the militant clerics refused to hand over bin Laden and deepened their ties with him. And so the war of attrition continued. Having proven he could hit big targets, bin Laden's next goal was to sink a U.S. ship. He would make his first attempt in early 2000, but the heavy bomb on the small boat derailed it, and it never reached its goal. He learned from that error and delivered a deadly payload to the USS Cole in October 2000, killing 17 sailors. The attack may have influenced the election in the U.S. the following month, but it was only a prelude to what would come less than a year later. Osama bin Laden was still seen as a minor threat, but that was about to change. The September 11, 2001 attacks were the first major attack on the U.S. mainland by Al-Qaeda, and the deadliest attack on U.S. soil since Pearl Harbor. 2 hijacked planes took down the World Trade Center, and a third hit the Pentagon, killing everyone on board. A 4th plane crashed into a field in Pennsylvania, and it was later revealed that that 4th plane was meant to hit the U.S. Capitol. Osama bin Laden was now public enemy number 1, and new President George W. Bush demanded justice. He announced to the world that the Taliban needed to hand bin Laden over now, and the Taliban's response was to demand U.S. ambassadors be sent to negotiate. Given the Taliban's history of taking hostages, this was rejected immediately. The war on terror had officially begun. The U.S. began bombing Afghanistan only days after the attacks, with one of their primary goals being to hunt down bin Laden. But where was he? He favored isolated safe houses, moving frequently and traveling with his wives and close associates. Now he sent his wives across the border to Pakistan and traveled from one Taliban-controlled safe house to another. A few months after the war began, he moved to the isolated Tora Bora region, where he was near impossible to find due to the rough terrain and the sparsely populated area with few sources to draw on. It would be a long war of attrition from here. Bin Laden didn't give up on attacking the U.S., but he would never pull off another major attack on the U.S. mainland. Only 2 months after that attack, the infamous shoe bomber Richard Reed attempted to blow up a plane from Paris to Miami, but failed to successfully ignite the explosives and was restrained on the plane. Security increased massively in the U.S. after the attacks, and bin Laden's options became limited. He would pull off attacks around the world in less secure locations, but now he was on the defensive. But that didn't mean he was done. Osama bin Laden was the most wanted man in the world. The country he was hiding in was being bombed by the most powerful country in the world. The U.S. government agents were scouting the country trying to hunt him down, and a $25 million bounty had been placed on his head. Despite that, years would go by without any sign of him. Some people speculated that he had been killed in the initial bombings, but occasionally grainy videos of him threatening new attacks would surface. Were these body doubles designed to keep the propaganda alive? No one was sure, but the U.S. kept up the hunt. It would be a long, slow mission, and the true extent of it wouldn't become clear until he was finally found. For most of the time, the U.S. looked for bin Laden in Afghanistan, but that turned out to be a red herring. Afghanistan was the most sympathetic nation to bin Laden, but it was also quickly descending into anarchy. And soon the Taliban would be replaced by a U.S.-friendly government led by Hamid Karzai that created a rudimentary democracy, albeit one that had to fend off attacks from the Taliban forces for its entire duration. But bin Laden can no longer count on the Taliban to shield him, so a year after the 9/11 attacks, he traveled with his family across the border into a mountainous region of Pakistan. They moved from safe house to safe house for several years before moving to Abbottabad, where he would build his secret compound. So why did the U.S. not clue in on this sooner? Unlike Afghanistan, Pakistan was ostensibly a U.S. ally, The US was hesitant to anger their government because maintaining good relations with the nuclear power and being able to serve as a mediator for India and Pakistan was important. But Pakistan wasn't being forthcoming about what they knew about bin Laden's presence on their
Save $60 over your first 6 months of live TV in Spanish on a variety of top networks.
soil, and so the US had to rely on third-party sources. The regions where bin Laden stayed were dangerous, and any US soldier caught there couldn't rely on support from Pakistan's government, and the US would likely not be able to rescue them without a diplomatic scandal forming. So, information coming out of those regions was spotty for several years, and bin Laden was able to stay under the radar in Pakistan for all those years, but not forever. The US had to rely on unconventional sources of information for years, including the many detainees they'd captured and held at Guantanamo Bay in Cuba. This military prison camp held hundreds of al-Qaeda soldiers, as well as many people who claimed to just be people who were in the wrong place at the wrong time, and it could be difficult to tell who was who. But amid the sea of interrogations, many of which led to dead ends, one name showed up: Abu Ahmed al-Kawati, a man who was supposedly a courier working for bin Laden. It's not known when the officials first got the tip that he was working for bin Laden, but by 2007 they discovered the man's real name, Ibrahim Saeed Ahmed. The government now had its first real link to bin Laden's whereabouts. It would be a multi-year process to find the courier and his location, with it taking almost 2 years to discover his name to find his hometown, Abbottabad. The US was hesitant to make any moves in Pakistan until it knew more, but now it had a location, and Abbottabad was isolated enough that they could start sending in paramilitary operatives without arousing the suspicion of the Pakistani government. Over the next year, they'd follow Ahmed on his daily missions and track him repeatedly, making an appearance at a surprisingly secure compound that seemed out of place in the mountain town. But even this didn't give them what they needed. The CIA was able to set up a surveillance in the area and take countless shots of the compound. They were able to determine that it was a fortress designed to hide someone of significance. They saw many people coming in and out, but there was only one person they didn't see: Osama bin Laden. If he was inside, he was taking his security very seriously and had not left the compound in a long time. Neither had anyone known to be a member of his family. Not surprising, as his wives and children likely had very little autonomy. But based on the many guests, the CIA's best guess was that he was still living there with his youngest wives. But before they made a move, they needed proof. So began one of the most devious schemes in the operation. How do you get a notoriously paranoid and secretive terror leader to open his front door to you? Simple. You create a face that no reasonable or unreasonable person could object to. The United States recruited Dr. Shakil Afridi to approach the compound, claiming to be running a vaccination drive. With the help of some nurses, they were able to gain access to the compound to vaccinate the children, and also take some DNA samples that would potentially identify members of the bin Laden clan. It's not clear if the DNA ever did make its way to the US and provide the final piece of the puzzle, but when Dr. Afridi's role in the manhunt came out, he would become one of Pakistan's most wanted men. No good deed goes unpunished. Now all that was left was scouting out the location. The compound was massive, located on a lot around 8 times the size of the largest houses in Abbottabad. While the actual house wasn't too large, the security ballooned it to many times its size, surrounded by concrete walls up to 18 feet wide and topped with barbed wire. The only way in was through security gates, and there was no way to do digital spying on the compound because there was no internet or phone service on the base. So anyone hoping bin Laden would hack into some unsecured Wi-Fi was going to be disappointed. The third-floor balcony had an additional 7-foot wall shielding it from the public eye, and not even trash left the compound. The residents would regularly bury it. The compound was set for a war, and that's what it would get. But back home, it was a very different story. While Osama bin Laden was public enemy number 1 after the 9/11 attacks, soon he faded from the headlines. George W. Bush, who vowed to get bin Laden dead or alive, soon got distracted and launched a war to displace dictator Saddam Hussein in Iraq. He was re-elected, but the second half of his presidency would be defined by mounting casualties in Iraq, a devastating hurricane, and a terrible financial crisis in 2008. By that point, bin Laden had largely disappeared, and few people considered the hunt for him a top priority anymore. Bush would be replaced by liberal Barack Obama in 2009, and Obama vowed to disengage from Iraq and focus more on domestic affairs. He, too, had a troubled presidency, and his re-election was seen doubtful after his party took a shellacking in the 2010 midterms. And at this point, many people didn't even know if bin Laden was alive or dead. The US had never given up the hunt, but much of it happened far away from prying eyes. Many people initially speculated that bin Laden had died in the initial bombings or died due to illness in the ensuing years. but there wasn't any proof either way. A 2005 book interviewing al-Qaeda detainees disclosed that he had escaped from Tora Bora into Pakistan, but reports that he had a serious kidney disorder made it seem to many like he might have just quietly died far away from the public eye. The US never publicly bought into the rumors, maintaining that he was a threat, but the lack of any new information made the public start turning out. And at a certain point, he started turning from terror leader to boogeyman in many people's eyes. For most people, their only connection to Osama bin Laden during these years was ill-sourced newspaper reports. Some were credible reports of where he might be hiding, others claimed he was dead or he might have changed his identity, maybe some claimed he was hiding out in Los Angeles with Elvis and Bat Boy. And as the attacks against the US homeland stopped and everyone got used to going through metal detectors and taking off our shoes at the airports, he started seeming less like a threat and more like a past figure. The government stopped giving the public updates, and most people assumed we'd never know the truth of what happened to him, which was why everyone was surprised when the bin Laden issue roared back into the mainstream media. In the years leading up to 2011, the CIA had staked out a place in Abbottabad and used informants and technology to learn everything they could about the compound. This included a drone that mapped every element of the house they could, ensuring that the team sent in would be as well informed as possible. They also used advanced spyware and tracking devices to pick up any cell phone signals in the immediate vicinity, even if the compound itself had no technology. Ironically, the size and security of the compound might have worked against bin Laden because it was so large it could be observed from multiple angles. And after years of intelligence gathering, a decision was made. The CIA and related organizations brought their intel to the president's desk, and Barack Obama had the most impactful decision of his career awaiting him. White House counterterrorism advisor John Brennan and CIA Director Leon Panetta were heavily involved in the planning, and they developed Operation Neptune Spear as a kill or capture operation. The US had a policy of not killing any enemy who surrendered, no matter how much blood they had on their hands, but no one expected bin Laden to surrender, and everything around the operation was based on that assumption. So it sounds like an easy decision. Well, not quite. Vice Admiral William McRaven, the commander of the Joint Special Operations Command, was one of the first to be briefed on the mission after the president. A veteran of special ops, he felt the commando team would be the best equipped to take out Osama bin Laden. A bombing strike wouldn't guarantee a kill, and bin Laden's body might never be identified. Plus, if there were civilian casualties, it could be seen as an act of war against Pakistan. But that was also the biggest challenge here: how to handle relations with Pakistan. No one knew how closely linked the Pakistani government was with the al-Qaeda leader. If the US government brought the intel to them and asked for a joint operation, they could get their man, or Pakistan could tip the terror leader off and allow him to disappear once again. They decided to go it alone. President Obama met with the National Security Council to hash out the details of the plan. Quickly ruling out the joint operation, Obama was hesitant to send a US team into harm's way. He seemed to favor a bombing mission at first, but the CIA said they weren't positive that there wasn't an underground bunker at the base. That meant a bombing mission might not do the job, and with little way to conduct post-mission intel, the truth might never come out. The bombs powerful enough to destroy an underground bunker would cause collateral damage, so that plan was put on hold. Instead, McRaven was tasked with developing a foolproof plan for a commando raid, and it would fall on the best of the best. The Navy SEALs picked for their mission were among the most elite soldiers in the US military, most having 10 or more deployments to Afghanistan and skills including border infiltration and foreign language knowledge. They were brought in without being told the details of the mission and engaged in rehearsals of the raid in test compounds built in multiple locations. Whatever this mission was, it was big enough that the government built a massive facility just to train for it. When they were told that the government had found Osama bin Laden and it was their job to take him down, reportedly, every single one of them burst out cheering. Now that they knew the mission, they would be briefed on the last few details of the raid. They'd be flown in on modified Black Hawk helicopters designed to be quiet and nearly invisible on radar. The US had supplied much of Pakistan's military equipment and trained their soldiers, so they knew their capabilities and how to get around them, and they were confident they could counter them if they came under attack. But the goal was for Pakistan to know nothing about the raid until it was already done. If bin Laden had surrendered, he would be held at a nearby Air Force base, but that was unlikely. And the SEALs were informed that if they were captured, the government would negotiate for their release. But they wouldn't be able to send in a rescue mission. Now it all hinged on one man. Was this raid too risky? Was the president really willing to put a team of Navy SEALs behind enemy lines on what would likely be an assassination mission. If the mission succeeded, it would be the biggest foreign policy coup of the administration. But if it failed, Barack Obama's presidency would essentially be over. Meanwhile, the military brass was making final plans, including adding an additional helicopter detachment that might be able to help the team fight their way out if they were cornered. Ultimately, the president looked at the plan and gave the go-ahead for the mission that might finally rid the U.S. of its decades-long enemy. And now it was all in the hands of the Navy SEALs. As the team took to the air and headed for Abbottabad, the president and his closest team members retreated to the Situation Room to watch the raid on closed-circuit cameras. Around 12 SEALs were making their way toward the compound, and their command was transferred to the CIA for the mission so that the U.S. soldiers would technically not be controlled by the U.S. Army while on Pakistani soil. They would be backed up by 67 additional commandos and a military working dog, a Belgian Malinois named Cairo, who would be tracking any escaping people from the compound and alert SEALs to any Pakistani military presence, making him a very good boy indeed. It was time. The two Black Hawk helicopters were accompanied by larger Chinook helicopters, holding back in case they were needed. The first helicopter would hover over the yard while its team rappelled to the ground, as the other copter would be around the perimeter and deploy the rest of the team plus the dog and an interpreter. But as they approached, one of the copters was hit by hazardous airflow conditions that caused it to spin out and be damaged. The pilot was able to avoid a crash, landing with some damage, but without any injuries or alerting security. They were on the ground, and now there was one thing left to do: breach the door and take on whoever was inside. Want to know the rest of the story? Watch how SEAL Team took down Osama bin Laden minute by minute, or watch this video instead.
No se puede confiar en WotLK para proteger.
Hey, bad friends. I am going to be in Boston for New Year's Eve and New Year's Eve, the 30th and the 31st. You got to come see your boy, AndrewSantino.com for tickets. Boston, come out, see me, celebrate with me. Let's have a good time. AndrewSantino.com for those tickets.
You two are bad friends.
Who are these two idiots?
A white dude and an Asian dude.
You two are disgusting.
Well, you two are something.
We're bad friends.
Welcome back to Bad Friends. Let me tell you something. It's a new show. It's different today. Bobby's gone because we fired him.
Fired.
And we're looking to fill his spot. So we've got some people that are going to come in and fill his spot. Right now, Trev Wallace, T-Dub, is in the house, in the hot seat. And also, directly across from him is my main man, Rex Dizzy. This motherfucker is the best. And right next to him is, damn, I always forget your name.
You gave it to me.
Juicy! Juicy's in the motherfucking house. How fun is this, guys? We're filling in Bobby's seat because we don't need him anymore.
Where is he? I'm a chubby Korean, so fuck it.
Yeah, you fill the mold.
Let's get weird.
Let's get right into it. So Rec and I worked together on A24 show called Beef that will come out. When is that going to come out? I have no idea.
Next year.
Sometime next year.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Is this the show that was written for Bobby?
It was.
Oh.
Damn, I think we found the answer right here. The host is across from me.
So Bobby doesn't hate you, but he's not happy that you got the role that he wanted. Because it was supposed to be maybe me and Bobby at one point, and then it became me and Rec.
You know, I approached him about it.
What did you say?
I saw the podcast, and then the next day I was eating at some Korean restaurant, and I was like, yo, I heard you was talking shit. But respectfully, because I know he probably kicked my ass, though.
No, he can't.
He has Ajashi strength. That's like
he's 75 years old. He is
like
an old,
strength.
tiny Korean man. He does.
Yeah, but
some little old Korean men have good strength.
Yeah, they don't work out, but they're like very powerful. I think it's because of the mandatory military service or something.
Right.
He has that.
Yeah, he does.
And like hidden Korean rage. I don't have that much
see
rage.
you guys fight now. Can we set up a fight between Rec and Bobby and see who wins?
Yeah, we'll get on it.
Okay, you want to?
No,
will you bare knuckle him?
I absolutely don't want to fight him.
So honest, you're like, I don't want.
Yeah.
So Rec filled the shoes that Bobby couldn't, and man, oh man, did you kill it on the show? So it's so good. I don't know if the show is good, but you did good.
You did. You killed it.
Honestly, I did very, very good.
And that was humble.
I'm very humble about it.
To say, yeah.
No, I had a super fun time. I hope the show is good. Who knows? You know what I mean? You do stuff and you never. I had a guy. I just said at the coffee shop. This guy was like, "Oh, I saw the trailer that you did for that Mark Wahlberg and Kevin Hart thing," and look, I had a great time. It's not doing well.
Do you feel that's a personal thing on you at all, or no?
It was all me.
Okay, that's what I was
Kevin the whole time was like, "Come on, man, this is on you. This film is about you. This is your film."
Right.
And I was like, "Okay." And it's what's funny about Netflix is you can't bomb really. It just goes away.
That one bomb.
Fancy.
Oh,
Fancy.
wow.
Did it bomb?
When the producers are saying it bombed, it really bombed.
No, we talked about it on the show before. I think on
Oh,
Rotten
really?
Tomatoes. I think on Rotten Tomatoes
Oh,
we
no.
showed it. What is
Yeah,
it now? 6.
Yeah, but
6
you're not doing that to be like, this is where I get my acting wings. You're like motherfucking Kevin Hart.
Yeah,
Like,
Kevin
you get a couple stills with him and you're good.
Yeah,
then you're good.
That's true. I had to pay for him though. All the pictures I had to post, he made me pay.
And you also did did just to make friends with Kevin.
That was his only reason.
You
why I
got a
did it.
6 on the tomato meter.
Shout out.
That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah,
not
it's,
bad.
yeah, it's pretty level.
How many reviews though?
855,000. It says something like that.
Interesting.
There's a couple of critics.
64.
64.
That's not enough.
No.
I think you need to hit 100 before you get a real rating.
Right.
But anyway, yeah, dude, I don't know. And I'm also in. I will know if a box office. What
That
does it
top,
say?
that bottom right.
Maybe Kevin Hart's worst movie yet.
Yeah, and that's from Nick at the Daily Beast.
You know, he's a top critic. Did you know that?
And every day he's just a beast. The Daily Beast.
Any
Maybe Kevin
bottom
Hart's
critics? You're not going to show any bottom critics on
That's
there?
what I'm saying.
Russell
you-
Simmons. Look at Russell Simmons. Russell Simmons is on there. Russ Simmons. If you
I
value
used to
your
work
time.
for him. Where's he at?
If you
Oh,
value-
there it is.
Did you work for Russell
I
Simmons?
used to work for Russell Simmons, yeah.
Go on.
And then he was the man. He would just bring hot women into the office and then go to his office where they would probably do Hollywood stuff. And then he would just walk out and then she would leave. And he'd be like, put this girl in a sketch because it was a comedy and music vertical at the time.
Ah.
And
What is Hollywood stuff that they would do behind closed
Yeah.
doors?
I think a lot of rock, paper, scissors, naked, sexually. I don't know. I don't know. But he would just bring lovely women in, probably have a nice general pitch meeting as Hollywood is. You're like, here's my script. And he's like, here's my
Yeah.
cock. And, you know.
Oh, my God.
Oh, I mean, maybe. I don't know.
Is that's what
he did.
goes on in Hollywood? Why am I not getting more roles?
That's why Me Time didn't do well.
Yeah.
Show your cock.
I didn't show
No,
my
I don't know.
cock.
I think he would just oftentimes, he always had like an entourage. He would just, his Instagram was always like yoga posts, like very zen. And then
Yeah.
he'd walk in and be like just yelling and then just have like hot women and just calling me. He'd be like, white bitch. He would say that to me.
You were the white bitch?
He would say white bitch.
You're Russell Simmons' white bitch.
I was, yeah. I worked for him for like 3 years. He never once knew my name. I used to like post on his Instagram. Like I was his guy. Like
when
who
you
would
put out a
post.
special, you should call it White Bitch.
White bitch.
Trevor Wallace White Bitch.
Damn.
And if you do put out a special, we've all been waiting, by the way, because Trevor Wallace, according to Bobby Lee, is the best comedian that's out right now.
Thank you. Thank you.
He's not here.
I mean, I used to get what's the laughter for, huh? What am I, top 23?
I can see how uncomfortable you're getting.
Oh, of course. I mean,
Trevor's a
because
great comedian.
This was the same chair that Bobby was praising me on
He
the
was,
show.
yeah.
And you were like, I mean, I guess.
No,
He's
I
all right.
wasn't.
Look, show the footage. Zoom in on Santina.
Roll the clip.
Yeah,
He said, how good is Trevor Wallace? I go, he's great. And then he wanted me to like go down this road with him and being like, oh, Trevor, oh my God. You're like, and I was annoyed with him trying to like pull me down this weird road. I was like, what? He's great. I said, he's great. And he's like, no, he's better than great. I was like, okay, man.
Well, what do you think about me?
I hate you.
That's what I was thinking.
I absolutely love you, dude. I think
Thanks, man.
you're a great comic and also a really cutie patootie. When we did that show together, man, I watched you on stage. Boy, oh boy, you got a nice structure.
Like in the face or the ass?
Just your bod is cool.
Oh, nice.
You
What
got a-
angle? Just your bod is cool.
I was behind you on
Hell yeah.
and I saw you sideways too a lot.
Oh, at
when we did
oh yeah, I did the Bad Friends.
we did the show together.
Yeah, I was supposed to be like brought out on stage, and then you're like, no.
No. It's not how it works over here.
Too much pale pigment on one screen.
Well, we're mixing it up today because we've got, we have two whites in the lead chair. But
Feels good.
It is nice, but we needed a little bit of Asian spice, a little bit of fish
I'm
sauce.
glad I could do that for you.
Rec, you do. Rec, did you any time to speak to Juicy? Did you guys get to meet?
Like after watching this podcast every week, I feel like I know her.
You don't watch it every week, do you?
I do.
God bless. Look
I
at
love
you.
this podcast, man.
You're incredible.
So I saw her, and first thing I said was not nice to meet you, but I love you. And then
Oh, nice.
it just came out. And
about
then it
those
took me
chairs?
aback, and I was like, wait, my bad. I mean, nice to meet you.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah.
How did you respond?
I don't love you though. I mean, I
Oh,
like
damn.
you.
Playing hard to get, dude.
She said,
I
who
think
dis?
you're great.
I said, who dis?
Oh.
No, I did not.
Damn.
To his face.
Did you?
No, I said I love you too.
Okay, nice. So we love each other.
Yeah, I'm all about the love.
You are all about the love.
Yeah, that's what I do before I go on stage. People ask what I think about. I just think about love and try to like expand it.
Are you being serious?
Dead serious.
I like this.
Wow.
We need more love.
Do you like say something in your head?
Sometimes I think about someone like my mom or someone like that's easy for me to like feel like love, and then I just like expand that.
I like that. I think about.
But I should think about my jokes probably.
No. That comes next. That's not that big. I think about Kanye West right before I go on, because a lot of his rhetoric lately, it's really inspiring.
On brand.
He's inspiring. This guy. He's a loopy, sad boy, man. And then I just saw an article that said he was ranting about Pete Davidson's 10-inch penis.
I saw that. No, his cock.
Oh, the penis or the rant?
Yeah, the 10-incher.
I've known Pete for a long time, and when I met him, he was only 8 inches. So it's cool to see that you grow with time.
As a person and in your penis.
Allegedly screamed out Pete Davidson's 10-inch penis during a fight with Charlemagne. Charlemagne will do that, man. He's so good at pulling people into this world of getting really mad and stuff. He's so fucking good at like making people get annoyed and pissed off, and then blowing up on his show. He also baits people to say fucked up shit.
Do they have footage of that though?
The cock?
No.
I don't know.
Dude, if I had a 10-inch cock, I mean, I'd be doing the same thing. Run around town trying to date everybody.
Yeah, 100%.
But unfortunately, I don't.
How many inches is your cock, Trev?
Probably 6 1/4.
6 1/4 is honest and real, and I know that's actually the number.
Yeah.
You measured it, huh?
Oh, yeah, recently.
But you know what's a trip? One time I measured it with a straight rule, like a wooden ruler,
Mm-hmm.
and then I did it with a tape measure, and I was longer on the tape measure.
On tape measure.
So what's up, dude? Is that skewed?
You got the curves in there.
Yeah, you go all the way around.
It's
the
angles.
block. Yeah,
I had to
you
use
get
a
the cul-de-sac,
protractor to get some of my cock there.
If I had a penis, I'd measure it all the time.
Nah, because once
be
you
like
get
those
it, you
kids
got
with
it.
the height charts.
You'd be checking it out. Each day you mark it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really depends on the season. Summer's probably better than most, but
It is true. Summer, you do have a nicer cock in the summer.
Humidity feels comfortable.
The winter always makes me get a small penis.
Oh yeah, it's like you took Adderall. It's just not good for you.
It just doesn't work. Does your penis shrink up in the winter?
It's pretty much the same always. I feel
Same
like.
size always.
Yeah.
Never changes.
Consistency.
Yeah.
Summer penis is a thing, by the way. Look at this. This is a thing. Men are claiming.
Oh yeah, men will do anything to make sure
Look how
their
happy
penis
that lady
seems bigger.
The heat wave is making their penis bigger.
Look
Look
at
at
the
this.
girl.
Global warming. It's a good thing.
Oh, nice.
Let's keep fucking up the environment as long as we get bigger cocks.
World
because
is
of it.
melting, bigger cocks. Now that's my special name right there. What is summer penis?
Summer penis?
Dude, summer penis is a thing.
I'm gonna have to check now. I didn't know that.
All right, everyone at
Varies.
home, measure your cock in the winter and the summer. Please send your results because Fancy needs to see. Well, actually, send a picture of your penis in the summer and then in the winter to Fancy.
But isn't LA like just in a perpetual summer state?
Everybody's always packing. That's why I live here.
Yeah.
Stay
That's
thick.
why-
Get a
Yeah.
bigger cock, baby.
Stay thick.
Are you from LA?
Pretty much.
Oh, okay.
Like the suburbs of it, like an hour away.
Oh.
God bless.
So just been packing my whole life.
You're from LA?
Nah, I'm from New York, from Queens.
But just say you're from LA.
I'm from LA.
Women
See?
listening will be like, oh, he's got a big cock.
I did. I forgot. You did. But you lived in Queens for a short amount of time and then you guys moved. Didn't you tell me that?
Nah, I was born and raised in Queens, and then I moved to LA.
Wow, maybe there's other Asian on the show.
My bad, dude.
The whole show is Asians, by the way. I'm not kidding. Look at the fucking cast for this show. There's one white and all Asians. This is my thing, man. I'm the white.
Get the, what is that called? The token white guy?
Yeah, I'm the token white guy. Yeah, for now. Until they're like, we got to get a new white.
I think you should capitalize on this. And you love golf. Koreans love golf.
Bro, I love golf.
You should be a star in Korea.
Well, link me up with the Koreans.
I
What do I
will.
need to do? I do a show with the little one every week, and it's still not working.
I get you some cameos, some rap videos.
Will you seriously?
I absolutely will.
I want to get linked up with the Koreans.
Let's fucking go.
Get some K-pop going.
I fuck with Koreans. I love their food. I love the people.
And you're a non-cringe ally.
A non-cringe ally.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. That's
big.
so good to know.
You are too. I think both of
fuck
y'all.
yeah.
You're vouched.
Thank God.
For
For
sure
a second,
you're-
I was like, am I?
What about Juice?
Yeah, what?
Oh, I haven't really heard her speak on any
Oh yeah. Have
issues.
You,
I said I love
Speak
But
on
she
it.
loves.
How do you feel about Korea? Go.
This
I love it.
this looks kind of like.
Most NPC answer ever. I love it.
Give me
There's
some.
also an axe underneath your chair. Is that planned? Do we know this? There's an axe under there?
Oh yeah.
For real?
Okay, for sure.
It's Rudy has knives all over the place.
Gotcha. Okay, makes sense.
Tell me. Okay, make yourself an ally right now towards anybody. Doesn't have to be Koreans, but let's go. Let's hear what your stances are on public issues.
Well, I think it's case by case.
All right, let's start with something heavy. The Jews. Go.
You have to give me an example though.
Korean Jews.
Korean Jews. How are they?
I mean, I think people are people.
I think Ben
Sorry.
Baller's a Korean Jew.
Ben Baller's a Korean Jew.
I think he like converted.
Please look that up. Is he really?
I mean, he works in diamonds.
Yeah. Okay.
Shout out our fellow people, our fellow Jews out here.
Yeah, Trev is a Jew. But are you?
Oh, yeah.
You're half Jew, right?
I got a bar mitzvah. I'm Jewed up.
For real?
My
Oh,
dad,
fuck.
my dad is Christian. My mom is Jewish. But in that,
Because you
that-
look Christian.
Thank you.
You 100%
Yeah.
look Christian.
It's like kind of like a puggle dog. Like it's like you look more like a beagle than a pug.
Right.
So it's like it's nice. People are like, you're fucking Jewish, dude.
But that's kind of nice that you don't, because you don't look the thing.
Yeah.
Because you look like what Mormons want. You are
Okay.
like
They're
handsome.
swiping right.
Well,
on
you're
that Christian
handsome. You're
angle.
clean cut. Like you look like you've never had an STD.
Mhm.
You look like you've never gotten in bad boy trouble. Have you gotten in bad boy trouble?
No.
See what I mean?
No.
You're pure, dude. You're one of these guys. I could see you wearing one of these white shirts. That's you for Halloween. 100%.
Yeah, I might go like no helmet though. I don't want to fuck up the hair on the bikes, but
Speaking of no helmet, you have one though. You're circed, right?
clipped up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Are
got
you
the fresh
circumcised?
fade.
Yeah.
You are. Are you circumcised?
I don't have a penis.
What the fuck?
Get out of town.
What the?
End the show.
Are you tucked? What do they do for girls? Do they tuck you? Do they tuck you early just to make sure the lips don't fall out too much?
I don't really do much in this country.
We don't. No, we should. We should find out a way to have girls need to get circumcised too, guys. I'm sick of this fucking thing where it's like just men. It's gross. Like let's equality. Girls
Don't-
need to get snipped.
Don't some places do that?
Yeah, like the Sudan.
Yeah, but that's vaginal mutilation. They like
Oh,
they
wow.
hold them against their will.
Yeah. I don't. Do you think they call it vaginal mutilation?
They call it ouchie ouchie. I think. You're gonna get ouchie today, buddy. Trevor, I'm happy that you're here in Bobby's seat because I got to tell you, your energy is good, and I do think we might have to genuinely replace.
Oh fuck yeah!
We're
Where
taking
is
over.
Bobby? Does he know this is going on?
No, he has no idea.
What is he doing right now? Is he still at that Joe's Crab Shack in Honolulu?
Oh my god, dude!
What the? That was the saddest
He
thing I've seen on
posted
his
6
Instagram.
times.
I almost flew there and sucked him off myself. I was like, Bobby, we got. It was like day 4, all alone. It's
No,
like, Bobby, I love you, but let me send you some hoes. Respectfully, one.
He's in New York. He's filming. What's the show called now? It's Sex and the City, but it's called something else.
And just like that.
And just like that.
My mom
The
loves that
fuck?
show. That's how she knows Bobby.
Really?
Yeah.
Seriously?
That is.
I was like,
don't
you-
tell him that. He would be so sad.
I never told him that. I was like, you might know him from Mad TV or something. And she's like, no, actually, I know him from Sex and the City.
Yeah, but you know what?
Damn.
Audiences must be huge because they keep making seasons of this
Yeah,
show.
she
So
loves it. She says he's great in it.
And just like that. What is his character in there?
he's a podcaster.
You're lying.
I swear to God. Look.
That's where Hollywood is right now?
Well,
Look at
that.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
He looks
he's-
like a hype beast podcaster, though.
Yeah.
That's him right there.
No way.
And that's his co-host, right? She's the co-host.
The girl
or
on the right.
The.
Our
Yeah.
left, yeah.
Well, you know what's funny is I'm not being facetious by any means. I think the person he's with goes by they.
Oh.
I'm being serious. I'm not being a smartass.
I'm not gonna lie. They look like they're having more fun than he usually has on here.
Well, he's acting.
So this might all be coming,
That's interesting.
tying together.
That's an interesting.
Look
quote.
at him.
Yeah, he's acting, dude.
Okay.
Bobby's never look at that photo
That's how he talks to you on the phone.
with his feet up in the air.
On his belly.
Do you remember those days when you would call someone on the phone and talk to them for hours and hours and
Yeah.
hours? Like a boy, did you ever have a boy crush that you like spoke to on the phone for hours at night?
Yeah,
Until
and
your
I would,
mom was
like-
like, "Get off the phone."
Yeah, well, I had the cell phone by junior high. So by the time I was like calling boys, I had a cell phone. So
Racking up those minutes.
Yeah.
Or were you on unlimited?
No, I didn't understand minutes, and then one day she was like, "How did you make
Like,
how
I
were
was
you on the
horny,
phone
Mom.
this
Leave me
long?"
alone.
Yeah. But I didn't know she had record of how much I was on the phone, so that was
Damn.
pretty embarrassing.
Yeah, that. Well,
Or
'cause
it's
that-
kind
yeah,
of a
they can
flex.
see, well, they can see that.
You're like, yeah, Mom, I get fucking dudes. Leave me alone. Where's your minutes at, Barbara?
Dudes. No, you know what? I did it from we were house phone kids.
Yeah.
Like I grew up. You didn't have house.
I
phone.
had it
You're
for a
too
little
young.
bit.
You're old enough. You had
Yeah, I
house phone.
had house phone.
You didn't though.
Yeah, I know you had house phone.
Oh, you did?
I used to have. My parents made me answer the phone a certain way. Oh, let's fucking
Oh,
go.
whoa!
Bring
Look
the
at this
chaos in.
piece of shit. Whoa, baby girl.
With the bedazzled Wawa. Let's go. Oh,
What's up?
$700
Whoa,
down the drain.
I don't give a fuck. I'm fucking rich.
She is really rich, dude. This is out of control. This is what she does.
Why
now.
did I enter like this?
I don't know,
Fuck is
dude.
wrong?
Well,
Should I leave? Because she's way funnier than I am.
no, she's not. Rick, stay. All right, well, here's the deal. I want to see how we can make this work. We're going to be interviewing a few people today to find out who's going to take over Bobby's seat. Juicy, you're in on this too because, this would be a co-host for you.
Okay.
So
She doesn't even want it.
she does.
Wait, no, I'm
not grateful.
Can
Get
I
her out.
audition to be a producer after this too?
Yeah, you sure can.
That's a good spot back there.
I thought I was auditioning for Rudy.
You are.
Okay.
You already
Oh
got
my
it.
God, that's racist. You put the Asian in the Asian spot?
What's wrong with that?
What's wrong with that?
Wait, what's wrong with putting the Asian in the
What's
Asian
wrong with
spot?
that?
Also, this show is all Asian most of the time.
Right.
It's me drowned by Asians. The only thing that saves me on this show is that I got, I have a fucking what.
This is the diversity episode.
Couple of border jumpers.
Yeah, with the white.
Not you.
I thought you were saying gay guys.
Huh?
I thought you were saying they were your gay guys.
They kind of are.
Yeah, they're like married gay guys.
But only one jumped the border. The other one flew here.
Oh boy.
On a private jet that his dad owns?
Flex.
Fancy.
Now that's more my speed.
Have you
Private
ever?
jets.
Have you been on a private jet, Carlos?
Yeah.
Because your dad?
No, ex-father-in-law.
Father.
That's a rich sentence
Oh
right
my
there.
God,
what?
Ex-father-in-law. That's a CSI Miami show if I've ever heard of one.
Wait a
You
minute.
married rich?
Your ex was super wealthy?
Yeah.
That girl that I met?
Yeah.
Really?
No, she did not look
She
rich.
didn't look rich at all.
She looked like yoga.
Yes. She looked like
Like she got paid in donations.
mm-hmm. In hope. She got paid in promises.
Yeah, I had a place in the Bahamas, like a vineyard.
She had a place in the Bahamas in a vineyard.
Damn.
Where'd you guys meet in rehab?
Burn.
Zinger.
Silver Lake.
Same
thing.
That's where you move to get detox and Jesus.
Silver Lake is that is rehab town.
Look how
Everyone
cute
there is
Trevor
sober.
looks. Looks just like me.
Can I tell you something? I complimented him
Yeah, he
already.
looks so
He is
cute
so
today. He
fucking
looked
cute.
extra cute.
Let's go, baby.
He gets
More
nervous when I
energy.
say that to him because he knows that I mean it.
You're about
Yeah,
to
but you have
lean
big
in.
brother energy. Like you compliment, and I'm waiting for you to just nut tap me under the desk, like fucking bitch.
Maybe he'll nut rub you.
Oh God, your hair is so long.
I do have big brother energy. I do.
Right? But even when we were in Austin and the girl I was with met you, she's like, I think that guy hates me. I was like, no, that's just him.
Oh my God, you negged Trevor's girl?
Do you want to know what happened for real? So this is really what happened. This is kind of crazy. There's a million people backstage, and these guys know during production of shows, it's a nightmare, and you're trying to figure out who's going on when, and when, and we're doing a Bad Friends Live, so there's a bunch of different people coming and going. Someone was late, and they couldn't get a bus, and he was dropped off at the wrong time, and blah, and it was all this shit, and I see this girl who's wearing a lanyard, and I immediately am thinking she works for the festival.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So because she's
You
standing
put her
there,
to work?
she's standing there alone.
It's like, give me a fucking call, bro.
I go, bitch, get me a coffee, bitch. Bitch,
I
get me a
thought she was
coffee,
getting
bitch.
paid to be fucking abused.
I'm thinking she's someone's manager or agent or a fucking. You know what happens at these festivals that people in the fucking business just are allowed to just go places, and you're like, who are you? And they're like, I work for
We did a Quibi show in 09.
Yeah, and I'm like, well, okay. So I didn't fuck her off, but I was like, hey, what's up? I just kind of was. I didn't know who she was. I thought she was just another girl backstage. And then Trevor's like, this is my girlfriend. And I was like, oh my God. Then I reintroduced myself nicely. I was just like, does she work with us? I have no idea. Fancy brings around these young women all the time. He's a baby thief, this guy.
In the glasses?
He'll just show up and be like, I brought a baby. He'll just bring a baby.
Oh, nice.
And I'm like, why? Do you have a little baby? And he's like, she go for the show? And I'm like, okay.
It's just a human stork just dropping
They
off
don't pay
babies.
enough here, so I have to,
Sell
babysit.
babies?
We don't pay enough? You're fired. You're fucking
I
fired.
get to audition for that role next.
Yeah, you're up there
I think
next.
I'd be a good producer. I'll just pull up Pornhub every 14 minutes.
But I was very nice to your girlfriend after you introduced her properly. But you left
They
her
broke
out.
up.
You left her to stray, by
Boy,
the way.
but you guys were like, you're doing the podcast, you're doing stand-up, you're doing the and I was just on my toes, so I fucked off for a little bit.
So yeah, you kind of fucked her off more.
Yeah, that's my bad. That's my
Can
bad.
I just say, you broke up, right?
Yeah.
I just want to let the ladies know out there, Trevor is available.
Bad friends, what's
He's
up?
fucking handsome. He's ready to go.
He is hot and handsome, and he's got a
Hot and
6
handsome.
1/4 penis.
6 1/4, baby.
Oh, really?
Maybe
Yeah.
bigger in the summer.
Bigger in the
There we
summer.
go.
You might have summer dick.
Somebody
Gotta
transcribe
trim
this,
that
put it on
hair,
my
make
Hinge
that dick
profile.
bigger.
Wait a minute. That girl that I met, you broke up with her?
You were no longer together.
Well, then I don't feel bad about what I did to her.
There we go. True Santina. Fucking bring it
Because
out.
when he was on stage, she was like, I love him so much. And I was like, shut up. And
She said that?
She goes, he's so funny. And I
Oh,
go, shut
God.
the fuck up, bitch.
Shut the fuck up, you dumb bitch. He's gonna dump you, bitch.
No, she was really nice. She was very, very nice and cool. And I was sweet to her once you introduced me. But that's the rule. Everybody knows. If you bring a significant other to an event or something, you can't leave them out to stray. You have to. She has to be near you.
Right.
Because otherwise she's rogue. Then it's like, who is this lady backstage?
It's a rogue lady.
And I assume she's somebody's manager or PR person. And I
She
do
does
not
give
want
off
to
PR vibes.
Yeah, and I don't want to talk to PR people.
Annie has the best significant other. She's got a Todd.
I got a Todd. Everyone deserves a Todd. Todd can wander off. It's fucking annoying though, because I'm always like, "Where's Todd?" I'm like holding my own purse. I'm like, "Where is Todd?" Todd.
He does everything. It's
Oh my
awesome.
God, just a
Down
huge
bad.
ball rack.
Skagfest, he was gone. Skagfest, he was having so much fun, and everyone just like adopted Todd. I was like, "Guys, Todd's mine. Okay, let's."
No,
go.
we kind of took Todd on our. When I see him at the store, I get happy. When I see you, I get happy because I love you. But when I see him, I'm like, ooh, Todd's here. I get a
No,
little
he's
excited.
my better half.
I know he really is.
That
He's
was
my better
wholesome.
half Asian.
He is half.
He's
But
happy.
but which Asian? It's not a good one though.
No, he's the best Laotian. That's so cute.
Oh, that is good.
They have like they have.
Rec,
they've
you
been
got
through
any
a lot.
comments about that?
I don't know. You know, I don't think I wouldn't say the best Asian.
Well, I'm just saying
Oh,
the best
there we
because
go.
he's my
Beef it up.
boyfriend. But...
Rank the Asians for real. Be honest. I'm
Korea-
serious.
Oh, we
Korea-
know who's at the bottom. That's the second.
Korea's
bottom.
number one. That's all I got to
Korean
say.
is good.
Turn up.
Korean is really.
And then who's second? Be real.
It doesn't really matter.
Yes. Oh,
If
whoa.
you're not first, you're last. Ricky Bobby.
There we go. Talladega Nights.
There
I think
is.
it goes Koreans. I've said this on the show. Japanese love Japanese people.
Keep the camera on him for this.
I
Koreans,
Make it look
Japanese.
Like Trevor saying this, please,
I have to say Chinese. I have to say Chinese because
because they get the short end of the.
I would
Well, they
say-
own this show. I'm sure we don't even know it, but they own this show.
There is a like ranking of like not giving a fuck and giving too much of a fuck. Japanese people are here. They give too much of a fuck. That's why they're so polite and
I fuck with that.
kind of mask their
But it's
true
fake.
emotions.
It's fake. Is that what you're
Yeah.
saying? It's
Oh,
passive
yeah,
aggressive.
yeah. And
I
then
think
They're
that's
like the
Japanese.
Canadian.
and then
Asians.
Chinese, yeah, my bad. But Chinese people just don't give a fuck at all. And then
Yeah.
Koreans are smack in the middle. Like, I don't know. I don't give a fuck, but I do.
Versatile.
That's why I say
What
we're
about
number one.
what about like what about Taiwanese?
They just hate being
Chinese.
called Chinese.
Yeah, that's right. They do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now a word from our sponsor, Better. You know, and they're a nightmare to buy. All right, everyone has to go to dealerships. Well, okay.
6 1/4 inches.
Thanks for coming in today.
Of course. Am I? This is me, not Bobby.
Thanks for coming in today.
Hey, pleasure to be here.
Oh my God, he's failing already.
He's failing so bad. Tell me.
Nervous.
Oh, I have to be like mean. What's up, bitch?
No, that's not Bobby's. I'm the mean one.
No, but like I feel like that's how you win people over. Is you like be like rude.
You're the dumb one. I'm the mean one. She's the sweet, funny one. You get it?
Oh, okay.
We're
okay,
all
I'm-
acting.
Yes. Yes. All right. Yeah, because I'm very smart. I did very well on the ACTs. All right. Yes. Oh, all right.
Oh, what did you get on the ACTs, Trevor?
24.
That's pretty
isn't
good.
that the,
Thousand.
isn't that the SAT, dog?
Here's
The
thing.
ACTs are out of
Here's the
36.
thing. ACTs are 36. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did well for state school kids.
Wait, so what did you get on the
I smoked weed in 8th grade out of a light bulb. So for me, like this is a good trajectory. Literally the first time I smoked weed, 420, 8th grade.
That sounds like a great idea. Get it?
Do it.
Is
Out
that
of
a
a
light bulb?
A light bulb?
Yeah, I was with some other kid and he broke the glass off and then just used the bottom as like
What
the
the
bowl
fuck?
and then put it over
You guys
pen.
are. What's the first time you? How's the first device you used to ingest marijuana, Rec?
Just like a J? Oh no, a blunt actually.
A blunt.
Cool
was
guy
no- That's
answer.
way cool.
Cool guy answer.
I mean,
what
that's
was
New
yours?
York.
Those are cool. just a blunt.
He's
I
very
was
cool.
smoking weed out of a G&E damn electric bill. Like,
I was a
Was it an
big
Edison
pen.
bulb? Yeah.
A big pen, like just the outside piece, the tube,
Oh, wow.
with tinfoil on the
Oh,
end.
dude,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know
With
sometimes
Vic,
I
this guy
forget.
named Vic, who, if he is alive, I am in shock.
I forget where you're from, and then stuff like that reminds me.
oh, Philly.
Oh yeah.
Whenever I
trash.
like a big pen, yeah, you are. That's so trash. That's disgusting. Mine was an apple, 100% an apple.
Apple solid.
Apple was like the smartest because we couldn't buy papers because we were scared they wouldn't sell them to us. We were
Yeah.
14, and my buddy was like, "A guy I know said you could smoke it through fruit," and I was like, "Shut the fuck up." And he said,
What'd you call me?
He got 2 pencils, jammed them through, and we smoked him an apple. And then he was like, "And then we have to eat the apple
Yeah, there's
afterwards."
always a kid who's trying
You
to
have
eat the
to
apple
fucking
after you all
apple.
made
That's
love
so
to a
annoying.
fruit.
It's like eating the cookie after you jerk off on it. It's like, come on, leave the cookie alone.
the cum cookie.
Yeah, I don't. Carlos did laugh like he was always the cum cookie eater, by the way.
Carlos, did you ever eat a cum cookie? Be honest.
No, but he's always watched guys jerk off. He has watched a lot of guys masturbate.
Have you guys mutually masturbated on a thing or in a thing with friends? Have you ever done that? You know about the cum cookie. You know. What
I
this
know
is.
about it. I've never done it.
Have you done this, Rec?
Nah.
Damn.
You've done
He's
it?
gluten free.
Yeah, I am gluten free.
I did a group jerk off in a thing. It was really mean. Now
College
that I think
or
about
just
it.
at the comedy store?
High school.
I feel like it was at the comedy store. I'm like, name the name.
Whoever nuts last has to go up first.
We all jerked off on Eliza's dog.
Oh my God, Blanche. That's why she was called Blanche. Blanche means white because it's for the jizz.
She was like, "Can somebody watch my dog?" She went on stage. We all just jerked off on the dog.
Oh God.
Oh, we'll watch her, all right.
We are going down, Eliza. I'm sorry about this. Okay,
I think the dog passed away. By the way, sorry about
got a
that,
new one.
Eliza. We're just joking around. We're just kidding around. You know, comedy.
I do hear that the dog died from drowning.
Too much
in
cum.
jizz.
Too much not.
Jizz overdose.
Too much.
It was another jizz fatality. So many at the comedy store have been jizz fatalities.
Sounds like a dog is drowning in cum back there. Don't worry about it.
Happens all the time.
No, I did something very mean. A dude that we knew in high school that someone didn't like, and they had beef over a girl.
Yeah.
And he stole his jacket from an auditorium. Like he put down his jacket, and we all jerked off on this guy's jacket.
Oh, God.
You should have came like in the pockets. Like,
You know-
somewhere funny.
Oh, I
That
came-
way later he's like, "Where's my phone?" He's like, "Jizz again."
Well, let me tell you something. The guy had beef with that we knew, he gave him back that jacket. That jacket was returned to the rightful owner.
It's the best kick me sign ever.
Because we know, but no one else knows.
It's perfect.
But now he does. By the way, he's watching this and he's like, "No, it's my favorite jacket. It's my favorite American
I have
Eagle
a
jacket."
forgotten jizz load story.
Yeah.
I in college I jerked off, and I usually would jerk off into like a wad of tissues, and I just put it in my pocket and throw it into the bathroom, flush it.
Mm-hmm.
I put it in my pocket.
That's so fucking serial killer.
I'll
just dispose it in the bathroom. You don't have a trash can?
I'm
in
the
room?
Dahmer of jerking off.
There you go.
Yeah, no, but I was high as fuck too, and then I had to go to
That high
class.
nut goes crazy.
Yeah, a lot of elements going together. So I had this in my pocket. I went to go take a test. It just smelled like jizz throughout the whole test. And I was like, "Who the fuck?" You know what I mean? Like, or
Forgot it was you.
yeah. And then I was like I was rummaging through my pockets, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" I pulled it out in front of everybody. It's just this wad,
Damn.
but nobody knew what it was.
You should have blown your nose in it.
I know. I should have played it off. But yeah, that was kind of a story I was hoping to forget, but it came up.
I'm glad
today.
that came back in.
What
And
did,
then
what
now
did
it's
you
just
do after? You just held it like Statue of Liberty?
I was
you just
like, no,
cum?
I realized what it was, and I just went back in
Yeah.
my pocket.
Juice, what's the first device you used to smoke marijuana?
A pipe, like a lady.
Like a good lady.
I imagine it being like a big tobacco pipe, though.
Yeah.
The corn husk one. You don't
Was
even
it from the
inhale,
Renaissance
just
fair?
pa-pa-pa.
Little glass pipe.
I used to love chillums. I used to love.
Oh,
the
yes.
one-hitters.
It's my
Because you feel
favorite.
cool that you know how to use them.
Yeah,
you
and it was
know?
cool to say chillum. I was always like, "Oh,
What-
bring over
I
my
always felt
chillum."
like I was
I think
saying
we
one
call
hitter?
those. Yeah, we call those one hitters.
Yeah.
Do you ever get to see the cigarette ones that were metal and you like dip it?
Yeah,
I still have
seen
one.
Oh,
them.
really?
Of course. We
Yeah.
all
Titmouse
them.
just sent me one. The
Those
Titmouse, the
feels-
animation house, was like "Merry Christmas" and sent me a little. It's a little beautiful wooden box. It's carved really nice.
But it looks like a cigarette?
Yeah.
It's like double six. You look like you're smoking nicotine, but you're just smoking weed.
Hell
Did
yeah.
you guys smoke wet?
No, dude. No one's smoking embalming fluid. You fucking.
What?
I'm like,
Wait.
Titmouse, be
What-
cool.
what
Send
is
some
wet?
wet, dude. Let's bring wet back.
Wet is embalming
Oh,
fluid.
I said wet
Whoa.
back.
I think I smoked that.
I don't even know what that is.
Sorry, Carlos.
Wait, is that like
I'm bringing wet back. Yeah.
is that like dipped in lean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
No.
smoked that.
No,
Oh,
no,
it
no,
was
no.
dipped
No,
in-
no,
well,
no.
They said formaldehyde, but I can't imagine.
It is
Yeah.
formaldehyde. That
It
is
was?
embalming fluid. That's what that
Guys,
is.
that's so cool.
It's
Yeah.
what they put in
It's like
bodies
smoking a
when they
corpse.
die.
That's not lean.
And you were just smoking on that?
Because I've
Yeah.
smoked blunts dipped in lean.
That's different.
Oh,
But
That's
lean
sick.
is cough syrup, right?
Yes.
Lean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Now-
when you smoke it, you lean. That's what they call it.
Juicy.
That's what I was told.
You're better than that.
She's
You're better
no,
than that. You
Juicy's
know
one
it.
of
That's
those
what it
fucking
is.
annoying comedians that could just like if I said that, people would be like, "That's not funny."
You'd be fired. Yeah.
But you
Oh,
say it,
okay.
it's like your whole cadence and who you are is so funny that you're never you could just not try.
She's
if
a
you
great
wanted.
comedian.
I think
That's why.
Chappelle's like that too. I mean, he's absolutely funny, but
People
whatever he
compare me to
says is
Chappelle
just
I know
funny.
it's
all
like
the
you
time.
speak and joke.
But that's just
Yeah.
because
Fucking
he's
funny.
black. All right, we'll be right back after this.
Remember when I said wetback?
Yeah, you smoked out of it. No, but by the way, you guys are saying that the cigarette is what we call one hitters.
Right.
Chillums aren't one hitters. Chillums are glass pipes.
Yeah, you fucking losers. You don't
Fucking
know shit. You never
dorks.
smoked wet.
Fucking dorks. All right, hold on. We need to finish this interview. We need to finish this
Yeah,
interview.
I'm in.
So listen, what do you think you can bring to the show that Bobby doesn't?
A jawline.
Whoa, that's the most fire. That was fire.
He also said he has 6 inches, so 6.5 inches. So
I've
Yeah.
seen Bobby's cock multiple times.
who hasn't?
Can I tell you something? We
cop.
measured it soft and
Really?
hard, and he actually is a grower, not a shower. He does this whole have a small penis thing, but it actually does grow. He's got good size.
But grows to what? You're not saying the number for a
It's
reason.
like, yeah, it's not my tale to tell.
Under the
Your tail,
desk,
it's not his
show me,
tail
under the
either.
desk.
It's more of a
Where we at?
nub.
It's like it's like this like that.
That's
Really?
That's pretty
great.
solid.
Yeah.
That's not bad. That's something.
great.
To
That's a
hold on to.
handful right there.
There you go. Look at
like
that.
a flashlight or something.
Proud of him.
This is Shaq holding a Coke can. This is not. This is not bad. That's that. It's,
Same width or no?
yeah, exactly.
Green,
Oh, wow.
green on the
Hold on.
top.
He's got that double espresso.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember it.
You got one of them double espressos. That's right, girl.
All right, so a jawline,
Jawline, yeah.
huge, and then one more final question for the
Yeah.
interview, Juicy, and then we have to decide if he's gonna work.
Well, I gotta hear everybody first.
No, I know. Jesus
No.
Christ.
Remember who took you to
This
the
is
Rena-
American Idol. Am I
Renaissance
going to
Fair,
Hollywood
bitch.
or not? What are we doing?
All right, so the last question that I'll ask you is: are you willing to denounce your Judaism and identify as a Korean
Yes, on 100%, 35 times. Yes.
for the rest of your life?
Yes.
You have to be Korean.
Yeah, I would do that.
You're gonna have to get in Korean face.
Well,
What is that?
They have
Everybody
taped-
knows what
Andrew, why
Korean
don't you
face
show us
is.
what it is? What does the job entail? Would you mind showing me
What does
that?
Korean face look
Yeah,
like?
could you?
No, we could trade though. I'm down to be Jewish.
See?
It's pretty cool.
I love Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
We just be eating Reuben sandwiches.
That girl's not even Jewish, by the way. She got a lot of heat for that.
But she's got great tits.
She
Did you saw those
does.
tits
Oh,
in the
yeah.
beginning?
Wow.
I auditioned
Jews be
for that
having
show.
tits.
I auditioned for that and I saw those
Jews
tits
be
and I
having
was like,
tits.
you guys thought my tits were going to compete with those tits?
Yeah, but they could have fluffed you up.
They should have hired her tits.
Yeah.
Just CGI her tits
Yeah.
onto your body.
Wait, I think this is a good Freaky Friday we could do.
Oh,
Jew
yeah.
Korean swap.
I'll learn Torah. I'll read Torah.
Yeah.
Baruch
All you gotta do
Adonai.
is read opposite, right? Usually read like this, you go the other way.
That's
You
like
go
manga.
backwards.
It's like reading Japanese manga. We do that shit too.
Damn,
Japanese
we're the
manga?
same
Or
person.
Korean manga, same.
What is that? Manga.
Just like you know, anime comic books, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Asian comics.
Why is anime so horny? They go straight for the big tits.
Yeah, because what he was saying before, truth be told, Japanese are so like emotionally
Repressed.
stunted and oppressed that they that's why the figures of women that they have are like cartoon characters.
Yeah, that's where tentacle porn comes from. It's from like not being able to show that.
I
I'm sorry, one more
absolutely
time?
love that. Tentacle porn shows them because they can't show penetration.
Yeah.
Oh.
Their pornos can't show like a penis going in a vagina. It's got to be. It's blurry.
It's
You've never
gotta
seen
be
that?
8
Yeah,
tentacles.
now that I edit a lot of my videos. That's got to be hard to do all that tracking for like the blur on the vagina. A lot
Oh.
of shots. The director's like, let's just do a tripod. You stay there. I don't want to track.
I'm an
that.
expert of that. It
Oh,
does take
blurring?
a while though.
She
Yeah, I blur
blurs
my
because
feet.
she blurs her feet
My
because
feet
yeah.
are big. I got size 15.
Ooh.
you know what it
Wow.
really is. People want her feet bad, and on the internet, she's not willing to give it to them unless they pay.
No, it's not even like
Make 'em
I say
pay.
$100 million in quarters I'll take for, but it's
That's
more
so
just
heavy.
I didn't know they were jerking off to my feet and I felt betrayed.
All right, I got to tell you something. I think Trevor's in.
But I have a couple questions for him.
Okay,
Oh,
please.
yeah, please.
I just let
Oh.
everyone know I'm actually looking at Fancy's dick. He is bottomless. Did you know that?
Oh,
And
up
hard.
there? Is that what he does up
And
there?
hard.
That's very
He's bottomless.
She got Bluetooth on it.
All right, Trev.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
okay.
Go for Fancy?
Are you gonna be late to every taping?
No, I'm here. You know, I showed up on time, driving out here, far as fuck, but I'm here.
Is that a trick question? Is Bobby late?
Historically, Bobby used to be late to this show so much it would cause actual real fights between him and I in the real world. Like he would show up so late and not care, and then we would get in fights because we'd be like, "Dude, everyone's waiting all night." And we used to record almost always at night, and then it would piss me off so fucking
Damn.
much. But now he's been on time because Daddy cracked the whip.
When did he start showing up? Like when the views were just doing great, and he's like, "Oh, I gotta start showing up."
This show got views off the jump.
Oh, my bad, my bad, my
Yeah,
bad.
yeah. You better fucking
I'm sorry.
stay, stay in line, young man.
But what did you say to him that was like, "All right, get your shit together," or probably just that?
What was it that like? What was it?
You
that
just
did
pulled
it?
him aside one day, you're like, "Fucking get it together."
I think we had a live fight, a real fight on the show.
Oh, interesting.
And I was genuine about how annoyed I was that he was so fucking late all the
How
time.
late would it be?
Dude, so, I mean, sometimes he would fucking forget that we had to tape that day.
Sometimes
Yeah.
he's in New York right now.
That's so
Smoking
funny.
Weed? Was it when he was smoking weed?
No, dude, he was sober. I mean, he relapsed while we were filming. Yeah,
Ah.
that happened, but that's why he got that trophy because he kicked the habit.
Yay.
No.
We got him out of it. But he
Nice.
when he you know what's actually fucked up? This is awful to say. He can vouch, Fancy can vouch. When Bobby was using again, he was actually on time. Like
He's trying to get the fuck out of here and go use again.
No, but he was more scheduled. That's so fucked up to say.
Yeah, he wanted to get fucked up.
Well, because you know what it really was, and I noticed the first time he relapsed when I was with him years ago. He was so afraid of getting caught that he was more poignant about everything. Like he that's the funny thing was, he was so nervous that like Kalila was going to find out or I was going to find out when I went to his house when he was using again, that he was like a little too un-Bobby. And I was like, that's really fucking weird. And then he pulled me in the hallway. He was like, I got to tell you, dude, I'm fucking definitely using again.
I know he was the worst at keeping the secret.
Well,
he
he
would
wanted
like
to tell
show me
everybody.
the weed. He's like, look at all the weed I'm going to smoke. I'm like, Bobby, what are you doing?
All right, so listen.
Wait, can I do one question?
No.
Okay.
Of course. Juicy.
Fair enough.
Of course you can.
All right. So my question is, what can you do for me?
Ooh, this is really good.
Bobby's, he's kind of brought me onto the show, and he got me a commercial agent.
Yeah.
And,
Oh, wow.
What can you offer?
take me
Damn.
onto
You know,
work.
I'll be very honest with myself.
What can you offer, Wallace?
I can offer you. How do you feel about stardom?
I mean,
how do you feel about views?
Whoa.
How do you feel about TikTok? How do you feel about reservations at Saddle Ranch whenever you want?
Whoa.
He is the voice of the youth.
Free ride on the bull?
I could just ride on the bull. I get you some cotton candy. I could send you a lot of Logan Paul's Prime energy drinks. I have way too many of them at my house. I could send you like 8 cases of those. Liquid Death they send me way too many sparkling waters.
Hey man, don't plug your shit on our show.
You get that candle? You guys get that candle?
I
That
went to
liquid death
Trevor's.
candle?
I went to Trevor's house once, and he had all these clothes on the table, and I don't know if you remember this, but you were like, "Yeah, if you want anything, just take something." I just get sent all this free
Yeah,
stuff.
so you
all the
answered
time.
your own question right there. If you need influencer shit that I don't want to wear, you got it.
All right.
Yeah, it's like just a hype beast thrift store if you want it.
Do you consider yourself an influencer as well?
No, I think that term is just, it hurts. It's painful.
Why?
I just think it gets lumped in there with the same people who just do like a video. It's like, get ready with me before we go do ketamine in downtown LA.
Yeah, but what's the difference?
Hey, rude.
That's talking about Annie's video.
That's her page. Yeah, but what's the difference when people say podcaster? I had a guy
think
yesterday tell me, he was like, I used to sell TV ads and now I do them for podcasts. I go, oh, I got a couple podcasts. He goes, oh yeah, kind of like, oh really? You have a podcast?
Yeah.
Damn.
I go, what's the podcast that you guys do? He's like, it's called.
I just met girls that make the Trader Joe's signs. That's their whole like job.
The
And
bitches
they're
that
so
paint?
talented.
inside the store.
Yeah, they make their job is to make Trader Joe's
They got
signs,
the
and
best
they're so
calligraphy.
good.
That shit makes me
Them
crazy.
calligraphy is
Trader Joe's has
good, dog.
They draw the items and everything. Yeah.
it's
And they'll like throw a little joke in there every once in a while. I'm like, am I horny reading about peanut butter pretzels?
Fuck, I
am.
love those peanut butter
I am.
pretzels.
Yeah, so the answer is I could give you just free influencer shit.
All right.
Yeah, if you need it.
I'll take that into account.
All right, well, thank you so much, Trevor Wallace, for
I
your time.
appreciate
For the people that go watch Trevor's pod,
Stiff Socks
with Blaustein. Also, love Trevor. Very, very funny comedian. You're very funny. We do love you over here very much.
Thank you. Do I have to leave now?
Viator. Viator is the world's leading travel experience marketplace, offering every amount of love, free ad.
Pretty, it's crazy. It's so unfair.
And your zongers are looking nice in the shirt.
Oh, I put big titties in for this. I wanted to. I have like really big fake tits, but they're hard to get over my hair.
What do you mean?
Like they're like for like trans people and drag queens and stuff. They're like
huge.
their neck, like they're. I got big tits. You'll see them on the Halloween episode.
Whoa, dude, I want to see that.
Trash Tuesday.
What do you mean it's hard to get over your hair?
You put them. They're like it's like a sticky like silicone, and you have to put it. It's like got a neck, and
It's
it
like
goes
a
all the
fat
way
suit.
down.
A what?
Like a fat suit, but it's just the teeth.
A fat titty suit.
Yeah.
I love it.
Bottomless, fucking bottomless. Can you believe it? So disrespectful.
Because he was wearing pants when I got here.
No. People drop trow when they see me. It's crazy.
That's you have that effect.
Mm-hmm.
So, welcome 1/3 of a Trash Tuesday girl to our show.
Or 2/3. One of us is always gone.
Yeah, one of it. Who is it? You?
No, Esther's gone now. Esther's filming something. We fluctuate on.
I
who's
know.
gone.
I just got invited to do her movie.
Oh, what's that feel like? Tell me what it's like. I'd love to role play that.
Well, let me tell you something. I don't think I can do it.
Oh, hilarious. Haha, bitch. Should ask someone that's available.
You fucking.
I can play a ginge.
You could do the role actually. You could do the role.
What is it of a man?
It says pig person at bar.
Pig person at bar is exactly what I can do. That's actually all I've ever played. I can't really not do that role.
You and I could play similar roles.
I feel like we could play siblings, don't you think?
I've thought about that so much.
We have sibling energy.
When I wrote this thing recently, you were the first person I came up with
And then who got it?
No, it's not. No, it's not done. No, I'm serious. We're still doing it. But I said your name, and the person that I'm working with was like, "Oh, she's fucking great," and I was like, "All right, slow down."
Was it Charlie?
No, I can't tell you. I'm not going to tell you who it is. I'll tell you off air.
I want to just say, I know I'm not at the point where I'm like here to show you what I would do for you, Jetski, but I think what you need to know is there's not a specific thing I'll do for you. My life's goal is to make Jetski Juicy Johnson happy.
I think she's fucking happy.
Yeah, I'm so happy. Annie she took me on the road. I think we talked about it.
I like
before,
to spoil my girl.
Yeah.
Well, you're coming. Well, here's the deal. I know there's a lot of competition of like who's taking Juicy and what they're doing for her. You know, she pitted us up against Pauly. Now you. But here's the real deal, kiddo. I just got the dates for the Bad Friends tour that's coming next year. And
you're not in.
You're not
you haven't made it. I'm so sorry.
I can think of nothing else. Like I'm really excited about the tour.
It's going to be great. We just got all the dates, so we're lining them up right now to go. And yes, you are absolutely coming. However, the stipulation is
you make no money.
You're gonna
and you have to take the pictures.
You have to pay us.
You have to sell the merch.
You have to sell.
Wait, am I going with Pauly?
Yeah, you are.
It is like such a funny, but Pauly's so old school that he like forces his openers to sell the merch. It's so funny. It's like
still.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, he didn't like force us, but
yeah, he did. I heard he
feel
fucking
like
duct taped her hands to the.
I had to do it.
Yeah.
She has the square machine.
The square thing is duct taped. He pierces it onto her.
No, but you know what? We're gonna do that tour, and it's gonna be great.
And I featured for WotLK, and I just wanted to say I asked him if he had any stories of Bobby and Andrew, and he said, "Who?"
It's very funny. Very funny. That's very funny. I like that guy.
Oh, look at that! Look at that! He's so pissed.
Sorry.
Oh, great, good.
He knows who we are, man.
I know, but he's jabbing you.
Yeah, but you know what? It's not nice, Jess.
No, I almost thought you said he's Japanese. I'm like, he's Japanese. Okay.
Yeah, give him credit.
A lot.
Him and his boy went viral for their little podcast. How demeaning. Yeah, it is a little.
But
podcast.
it is a little podcast.
Yeah, it's a little bullshit ass podcast.
Talk
How about that,
Jess?
Jesselnick?
For such a tiny little podcast,
Bitch.
You little bitch.
No, but him and his buddy, their pod, they talked about a girl dying on a roller coaster. Or she went to go get her phone, and the roller coaster killed her. And they made a bit about it on the show, and it went viral on TikTok because some girl was like, "How disgusting that these comedians are laughing about this," and then all the comments were complimenting them. They were like, "This is the funniest bit."
And you're just like, "Why didn't I think of this first?"
I know. We're not up on current events on this show. Although I did see this morning in bed, you could look this up, 39 cases a month of medical marijuana psychosis.
Oh.
People are coming in because the dosages are too high that they're having psychotic breaks in San Diego.
I understand it.
That's how fucking out of control the weed is getting in San Diego.
Can I just tell you, I actually had to quit weed. Weed and alcohol are the things I don't do, and I will do literally anything else. But I can't handle weed. I'm the couch. I'm either the couch girl. I'm like, you know.
I can't
I do
either.
nothing.
Yeah.
You don't smoke anymore?
Nah,
It's too
I
hard.
quit like 4 years ago.
Yes.
Wait a minute. You weren't high any time that when we were filming?
Nah, it's just how I am.
You just
I know. I
you're-
love it. You're great. Do you do other stuff? Do you trip and stuff?
I do real drugs, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
he does.
yeah.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
That
So
we talked
cool.
about. That
So
we talked
cool.
Yeah,
about.
but I
So cool.
I do real drugs.
I feel like, I smoked a lot when I was in my developmental stages, like in
Yeah.
high school. So I'm just kind of naturally like in that mode.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Me too. I smoked for like 15 or 20 years, and then I just don't smoke pot anymore.
I
just
cannot.
stopped.
It's too
smoke
strong.
Yeah.
It is. It's like where I.
No.
That that El Camino movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's really intense, and I took an edible, and my heart was just racing the whole time, and I couldn't sleep. I was just like terrified. And I was
You
like, I
quit.
gotta cut.
Was it because you had a break?
Like,
Did something happen to make you quit smoking pot?
Or did nothing happen?
I think I.
Whoa.
What are you, my dad?
I think I smoked alone.
You wish your dad wouldn't be sitting here hanging
That's
out
exactly
with you.
right. Well, he's not around. He hasn't been around.
I know, that's the joke. That's why I like you. You've been through so much.
My dad actually said to me, "This is how much of a nerd my dad is."
Did
about-
he say who like Jeselnik?
Who? My dad? Who? My stepdad. My stepdad is such a sweet dork, but he goes because he was so anti-weed, and then they caught me smoking weed 1,000 times, and he heard the song "Because I Got High." Remember that song?
Oh.
And he thought that was like an anti-weed song. Because he was like, "See, he was late for work because he got high." He was using the lyrics as if it was. I was like, "Dad, this guy's a pothead. He's saying it, celebrating it." And he's like, "No, he's not, you fucking idiot. He's saying that he lost his job, his girlfriend, and everything he loved because of pot." I was like, "I think you're
Can you open this?
I think
for
you're
me?
wrong."
My nails
So
fall
nothing
out of
happened,
your
Rec?
I think I smoked alone one time, and I was like texting someone, and I was like, this iPhone is learning who I am and how I talk. And I was getting really paranoid. And then I was like, yeah, this shit is not for me anymore.
Ooh, I think that's a good movie too.
Just have one autocorrect and you're like, I'm fucking out, dude.
Yeah, basically.
Tell you how to spell February and you're like, this is too much.
So I think my fucking phone smokes pot. My autocorrect is always fucking wrong.
So annoying.
Always wrong. And the update made it worse. It used to kind of learn me, and now it doesn't know me at all. I'm the opposite. I want it to know me.
I heard a hack that, when it says ducking instead of fucking, you have to make a contact that says fuck in your phone.
No, you can go on keyboard. I got the hack. I have the real hack. Go to settings.
Keyboard shortcuts.
Keyboard shortcuts, yeah, and you can switch the names.
Does Bobby have those? No.
Exactly. See, we have a Korean who knows what the fuck is going on technologically. This guy, you don't have an Android, do you?
Nah.
Okay, I got worried for a hot second.
I made a deal with myself about weed. I said I'll smoke weed again when I make $100 million. So let's see what happens. So let's all take this journey.
Let's go.
Buy my merch.
$100 million.
You want to smoke a joint today? Buy my merch.
Buy her merch. Please, guys, please. We do need that. We do want to see it. And it'll be Spotify Live. I'm sure we'll do it live.
Danny has cool merch too. She got the t-shirts, the glasses, the socks. It's almost the whole outfit.
I got new stuff coming too.
Look at this bitch's nails.
I know, I can't do anything. You see how you had to open this for me?
Yeah, but
I
those
can't.
are so cool.
I'm wearing sweatpants again because I literally cannot button and zip pants.
Well, that's kind of like Bobby. She's needy, like Bobby.
Yeah, I'm like, Kalila, do things for me.
Yeah, you're not needy like Bobby. You're independent.
I like being independent, but it is now that I have my very own Todd. It's like, it is when he was like having so much fun at Skankfest that he was not standing next to me the whole time. I was like, it was so weird to have to just reteach myself like how to walk like without having my hand like escorted. I was like, it was like hacky. I was like, I don't want to sound crazy, but where's Todd? Like, I want to make a "Where's Todd" shirt.
I was just about to say that.
But he was gone. He was always like with the people having the fun sniffies somewhere. You know? I know, so cute.
You know what you need to do is make like "Where's Waldo" type of shirt with all sorts of like different comics.
And then there's just Todd.
And there's Todd in the middle.
Oh, I love that.
Do you have any fun? You got any fun trip stories? We talked a little bit of drugs when we were filming, by the way, because we and you want to do some mushrooms.
What'd
together.
you guys film together? I'm sorry, I didn't know.
We did a show that's going to come out called Beef with Ali Wong, Stephen Yun.
Not Bobby Lee.
Not Bobby Lee.
Thank God.
Who else is in it? Do you know other names?
David Cho. Wait, did you say that?
No,
I
can't
love
believe
David Cho
I can't
so
believe I
much.
skipped over my man.
Yeah.
He might be the most.
He is so talented. Goddamn.
I don't even know how to say it. He might be the most interesting person to listen to. He'll just talk to you. If you're talking about a subject, he'll just go in his own world and start telling you a story that's,
Do you know my David Cho? My David Cho combo. What we talk about is our topic is Survivor. He's a huge Survivor fan.
Is he?
Yeah, it's the #1 best show of all time. Revisit it, guys. If it goes off air, I will be dead.
I just can't. I can't do it.
Why?
I just don't care about those people.
Which people? There's new people all the time.
That's what I mean. I don't care about any of these fucking
God.
people. Trying to like live on a fucking island and could be like, that thing is not my thing.
They're not trying to live there. They're trying to survive.
They're trying to survive. They're not trying to live. Yeah, he's like, they're not
Juicy.
glamping.
I think it's so. The only kind of televised, rugged thing I want to watch like that, we've talked about on here a million times. We've offered to the producers to put us on, but Naked and Afraid is the dopest show on television. You put two people butt naked, there's no safety nets, and they got to fucking live.
Know
And a
what
lot
the
of
issue
times,
is?
they die.
No, here's the issue.
They die.
Here's the issue. Here's the issue. They're not winning anything at the end. That's what I don't like.
Pride.
They're losing.
No, I
That's
want
why
a
the show is
prize.
better. You're not doing it for money. You're doing it because
No,
it's like...
money's the best.
They don't make any money on that show.
No.
What about the other show where they're in like extreme
Alone?
conditions? Yeah. That one's crazy.
That's the illest of all of these. That's the
Yeah.
dopest.
Can
That
I
one's
tell
not
you
as
the-
fun to watch because the naked one's more fun because when you get like bites on your penis and stuff, it's funny to watch them like squirm at night. That I like to watch.
But the funniest thing that's ever happened in the history of podcasting is when Esther was on Tiger Belly one time, they were like, Bobby and Kalila were talking about Alone, and they go, yeah, we watch Alone together. And she thought they meant her TV show on Freeform, and she got so excited, and it was not Alone Together. It was Alone, together.
Oh,
damn.
Hilarious.
Sorry, Esther.
Ha.
Sorry, little Esty.
Ha ha, that's what you get for not putting me in your movie.
What if you're going to get in the movie and you don't know it yet?
I've known her 13 years. She's had a lot of things.
Annie,
Call
not
her
to
right
flex,
now.
but I was in the movie. I shot on Wednesday.
Oh, really? What'd you do in
Yeah.
it?
What's that?
What'd you do in it?
I was a weed dealer. I worked at the store, and next to me was Bad Baby. She was actually. So Bad Baby got in it, and not
I love
you.
Bad Baby. I'm sorry.
Nice lady.
No, who's Bad Baby?
Sorry, did you say sorry?
Catch Me Outside Girl.
Huh?
The Catch Me Outside Girl, Dr. Phil.
Cash me
Oh,
out.
she
I don't
changed her
care.
name to Bad Baby.
Government,
actually am a
her
Bad
government
Baby,
name is Bad
so-
Baby.
Bring up a
Sorry.
photo of Bad Baby, please.
Let's see this bitch.
Do I gotta do it?
Hey, man, if you're going to be the fucking producer on the
Oh,
show,
shit,
Trevor, you got to know how to
sorry.
type into a computer.
Sorry,
He only knows how to type his own name.
Yeah, it was. I think I was a good.
Her
name.
music is great, low key.
Oh, she's cute. Look at her.
Outside of Chiconi's, so fuck it. So Los Angeles bullshit.
Love this bitch.
Um,
Let her have it. She needs it. She needs this fame.
I'm really into Lil Yachty. Lil Yachty.
Lil Yachty's dope.
I've been fucking
Lil Bo.
consuming him a lot.
You heard the new song, right? But the walk.
Oh, look, Josh
Chipotle.
Potter follows her.
Yeah,
She's
I
so
call her.
cute. Look at her.
She
I
got-
love this.
She
girl.
probably could get a Rolls Royce. Her OnlyFans is going crazy.
Oh, it's OnlyFans money? That's so crazy. These bitches are making so much money. Josh Adam Myers was like, Annie, if you did an OnlyFans, you'd make millions of dollars. I was like, what?
That's not true. You'd make good money, but you ain't making millions, bitch.
You don't know that.
I do. I've known Annie for too long. Annie, you know what? How about this? You would make
Annie, you'd make
so
millions.
mean and brutal.
No,
Make
Annie,
the
you know what?
salary of a
Yeah.
JP Morgan intern. It'd be good.
Annie, you'd make Tim Dillon money if you did it. That's good money. You'd be making.
Ew, I'd make fat guy money.
That guy money is the best money.
It's funny if you mean like we'd make the same amount of money on OnlyFans.
You
like
would.
me and
You
Tim.
Save it.
Tarantino's been coming to the Comedy Store.
Yeah.
Theo was on stage and he went, I don't like that guy and he doesn't like me. It's like, what is the Theo and Tarantino beef?
Did he really say that?
He said that out loud.
Wow.
You
I
know
don't
who was
like
there
that
last
dude.
night? Rihanna.
Oh, so fun. I was there. I didn't see her.
Chappelle dropped in and yeah.
Oh, late after I left.
Yeah.
And he brought Rihanna.
She pulled up later.
Did she have her baby with her? Can you imagine? She's
Don't know.
breastfeeding. Now that's a bad baby. That baby's also been in Esther's movie.
Oh, everybody has. Wreck is in the
This
movie.
is a real thing. This
I'm
is
in the
real.
background somewhere.
This is
Yeah,
real.
I'm her stand-in.
Esther, I could play your fucking ripped stand-in.
That's true. You could play like the bulky Esther.
The bulky. I'm the bulk. I bring the bulk. She bulk. They call me.
Kind of sad Rihanna was there and I wasn't there last night.
But Quentin Tarantino is so fun when he comes to the Comedy Store. It's like so fun.
So
Have you been there on those
Rihanna
nights?
and A$AP Rocky together
That's a picture of them in the lot.
at the store.
Who
That's
took
wild.
it?
And
I
who's,
wasn't there last
who's the
night.
big white
I don't know.
security?
We have a new security guy.
Do we
I don't
really?
remember what his name is, but there's a new one.
Yeah, but that's not our security. That's-
No, he looks like he can fuck some people up.
Dude,
Oh my God, he's scary, that guy.
I hadn't been to the store in a while and I parked on the ramp and one of the new security guys goes, "Sir, you can't park there."
yeah, they
It happens all. They always go through that.
And I went like-
they gotta get like.
Well, I did the nice thing. I go, "Oh no, it's okay." And he was like, "No, you can't park there."
And
I
you're
was
like, come on.
But I walked up to him. I go, "Bro, I'm a comic. I'm one of the comedians here." And he's like, "No. What? Who? And then I
Who was it? Anthony Jeselnik is doing security.
Hormos or someone ran over and was like, bro.
But I feel like you're somebody who wouldn't take that like calmly. I feel like you'd get like one like, oh no, I'm a guy, and then he's
No,
like,
he's
no,
growing,
you're
he's
not. And you're like,
evolving. Yeah.
listen, bitch. And then you pull up the Me Time with Kevin Hart, and you're like, this is the fucking thumbnail, bitch.
No, I've gone backwards, man. I've calmed my
No,
shit
he
down.
is.
Really?
He's worked on himself.
I thank you
I
very
see that
much.
in you because we're both hulky.
Thank you. I'm trying.
Wholesome.
too.
But I feel like you get like one like, oh no, I'm on the show, and then the second one, that's when you really start flipping.
Rihanna
out.
No, the
looks
second one
so good.
second one I'll go, "Hey, dude, chill out."
Does this
it's
not
like,
look like a fucking
chill out.
serial
Okay.
killer?
Yeah, it does.
Rihanna looks so cool.
She always looks fucking cool. She's a mega babe. It's
Beyonce or Rihanna?
It's not even a competition.
I think Rihanna, right?
He's gonna say Beyonce.
You're more of a musician, though. You know,
Yeah,
technically.
I never was really into either of them.
Oh, I like
Yeah.
Beyonce. That's cool.
I love Destiny's
Like
Child.
Destiny's Child, I like.
My friends and I would like reenact the music video.
Which
I like
one were
Kelly.
you? Kelly's cool.
We were
I like
all
Kelly. Yeah,
of
short
them.
hair.
We were all
Wait,
of them.
what's the one?
That's the saddest answer because
were
you know
all-
when one girl was like, "No, you're definitely not. You're definitely not
And
Kelly
they're like,
Rowland."
I get a turn later, okay? In 5 minutes, I'm Kelly. Wait,
So, Rec, wait a minute. I like this. You don't like either of them.
Yeah.
You don't fuck with Rihanna or Beyonce.
I mean, no, they're great. You know, I like some of their songs. I'm just not.
but you're
like
not like you're not like
like a huge
searching for
fan.
them. If
Yeah.
they come up in a shuffle, it's all good.
Oh,
Yeah.
there's a trend right now on TikTok of unpopular opinion of musicians. Have you seen this when people are like, "Who's overrated in music?" And they're
No, I
asking
haven't.
like college kids. It's actually kind of fun because it's like some of the takes are really, really good. Like some of them, and some of them I don't know. Some of the people that they name I don't know. But who do you think is overrated as fuck? Unpopular opinion.
Fuck. I don't really like to do that. I just you
Oh,
So sweet.
know. I shit on them, but nobody's coming to mind right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who
I think it would come back. To
What's
me.
an unpopular opinion about who do you think is overrated musically?
Hootie and the Blowfish.
Rated
No,
perfectly.
I love that. Taylor Swift is one.
I love this.
Yeah.
'cause
This is
she's,
good.
Like and I guess she just dropped like 2 albums last
Yeah.
night.
I love that you
She
said, I
did?
guess. She's
I
the
like a
biggest
few.
artist
I
in the world.
do-
You're like, I guess
She's-
she dropped an album.
She's huge.
Oh,
I
she's
do like a
huge.
few
Yeah.
of her songs, but
Yeah,
I'm not like diehard.
I've never really gotten.
Who's
into
overrated, Annie?
Um,
Who's overrated, Trevor?
Usher.
Whoa.
Watch your
man.
fucking
He's
mouth.
jealous.
You
I'm
watch your
jealous I
fucking
didn't get
mouth
invited
about
to
us,
the
dude. Let it
party.
burn. I'll let it
No,
burn.
he's got hits.
I'll light you up, dude.
Oh yeah.
You got
You
it
made
bad.
me wanna
Confessions.
leave the one. He's so
Such a
good.
good song. I
love
Start a new relationship.
Who's
with
overrated?
you. Did you just hear me hit that
See
note?
what Google says.
Kanye.
You think Kanye's overrated? Whoa.
I like his take on the Jews, honestly. He's winning me back.
I
I'm just
love
kidding, I like to
Kanye,
work.
man. I
MAGA, MAGA,
MAGA, MAGA.
You love Kanye. You
I
still
do.
fuck with him, even though all this stuff.
I think he's the greatest rapper alive
of all time
because
Yeah.
I like historically.
What about dead?
He shifted the culture.
No chance. He's not the greatest of all time. He's
I just think
greatest
he
alive.
shifted the culture so many times. Like
Coolio or
Come on, man. Rest in peace.
Rip.
Rest in peace. Don't do that.
Rip.
F in the chat.
So wait. So say go finish your statement.
No, I just like everything: fashion, music videos, live state performances, even music, like combining like commercial sound with like underground type of
He's
raps.
probably one of the greatest producers of all time as well. Not
Yeah,
just,
he's just the most influential rapper of all time. How about
Hey,
that?
Fancy's right there.
He said,
"In your face, Fancy."
He says that Drake is the best rapper of all time.
Who?
Kanye says that.
He does. Is he
Kanye thinks
trolling?
Drake is the no.
I've never gotten into Drake.
So there's your overrated.
But
Drake.
I just never. It's just never come to me at the time that I need to hear it or liked it that much. I don't hate it. I just go. Ugh.
Yeah, Daniel loves Drake. We listen
Oh,
to Drake all the time.
Really? Have you gotten on board like sometimes we do with our boyfriends?
Yeah.
You've
Like I
assumed
never
his-
listened to Drake before.
And now you've assumed his love for him.
What is it saying?
Yeah.
Led
I
Zeppelin
like
is
some of it.
overrated. Is that
They're
what
saying the top 10 most overrated? Number 1, Led Zeppelin.
Oof.
Hot take.
Can't
Number
get- I
2,
can't really-
not my words. Beyonce. Number
Whoa.
3, Taylor Swift. What's up? Number 4, Jonas Bros.
Back the fuck up. Jonas Brothers are legit. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Get them off this list
All right.
now.
I'll email
Delete it.
thetop10s.com right now.
The
Number 5,
Beatles?
the
The
Beatles.
Beatles.
Who the
Come on,
fuck made this
weirdos.
list?
Thetop10s.com. So everybody send your hate mail to thetop10s.com. ACDC, number 7,
why did
Linkin Park.
AC/DC get
That's
skipped?
kind of fucked.
Lincoln Park.
Linkin Park, they're great.
Yeah, that's kind of fucked up. Also, the album they did with Jay-Z, right? It was Jay-Z on
Yeah,
the
what a
Yeah.
lapse in judgment by Jay-Z, huh?
I mean,
But that song was.
That shit still goes crazy in the karaoke rooms.
I've become so numb, I can feel you.
How about when they're
near.
like, "Shut up when I'm talking to you"? Love that part. I relate to it. People scream that at me so often.
number 8, BTS. I
Whoa.
do not claim. I'm not putting that
BTS
out there.
is
Okay.
not-
Dude.
You
Yeah.
better
I'm
not shit on BTS on
Yeah,
this
we're
fucking
not.
show.
Listen, guys.
Again, thetop10s.com.
This is a
Fuck 'em.
Korean show, okay?
Yeah.
Number 9, My Chemical Romance. I feel like that was
Number
a personal
10 is
one.
fucking
like
Eminem.
Eminem.
Yeah, everyone likes Eminem.
But
It's basically the most popular artist
I
of all
think they
time.
just went into
This
a Macy's
just-
and just heard what they were playing, and they're like, "Yeah, these 10 artists." right here.
Eminem's "Just for Men" beard is weird though,
What is
Yeah.
that?
He dyes his beard.
and it's like
Just for Men.
the thing is, it's like they never dye it enough. Like there's always
I'm a
like
good producer.
little gray.
By the way, he's got a line coming out called "Just for Eminem." It's really
Meminem.
good.
I love Meminem.
Just for Eminem.
I'm a Meminem activist. Eminem's rights.
Oh, look at that! Someone just did it. Oh my god!
Just for
M.
Oh,
Just for
we're
Eminem.
hacks.
We're hacked. We stole something from the internet.
Reddit got us. You look great in those.
Oh,
So
Diesel.
Oh my god.
That's why I started talking, so y'all fucking look
Holy
over here.
shit.
Come on, dude. They hide the
Trev.
Junos on me. What's up? What brand are these?
All right, so hey, wait, let's
Celine.
Annie get him a guy on the
500
show.
bucks.
Fucking promote a get him a guy. Get him a girl.
Oh
Hey, I'll
my
take whatever.
god.
Well,
I've been trying to get it. I think Trevor is a catch.
Hello?
But are you looking for love? Or are you looking for
Hey.
I'm looking for a hug.
hey, it's Bobby. Say hi to Bobby. Bobby, we're doing your job for you, and we
Hi,
found.
Bobby.
Who's doing it?
Well, Annie showed up. She's gonna take your spot. Trevor's here. He might take your spot. Rex City is here. He might take your spot.
Rex Dizzy.
He said Rec City.
Sorry, Rex. Hey, he's here to take your spot, and it's going really well. Huh?
Trevor who?
Trevor Wallace, your best friend.
Noah?
Trevor Noah.
Yeah, Trevor Noah. That's why he quit the Daily Show.
Right. I love Trevor Noah.
How's it going, Bob? Thanks for showing up to the show today.
Well, I just woke up just now, so I don't know why you were calling. What's going on?
Are you in New York?
It's
That's
4:30.
New York time.
It's 4:30
I
in
know,
New
but
York.
I know, but the last spot I had last night was like 3 in the morning. It was crazy.
There was no spot at 3 in the morning. You did it. You did a 1:30 maybe,
1:30 in the morning.
maybe, and it was probably
1:30
midnight.
in the morning. I lied.
I know. How's it? Well, how's it going in New York, sweetheart?
I don't know, baby. It's okay. I want to come home. I haven't been home in so long. I
Yeah.
miss you, baby.
Yeah, I miss you too, baby.
Ew.
Hey,
Shut up,
now or
Annie.
later?
Hey, we do miss you. We love you. We
Ew.
can't decide if Trevor is right for the show.
He's not.
Or if Annie is.
I am.
Rex gonna stay though, regardless, because he's killing it over there in the corner.
There's a hammer under
Rex,
his
is Rex
chair.
the one that beat me out of that role?
That's right. You want to say something to him? He can hear you.
No. I don't want to talk to him right now. I love him though. He's cute.
Say something to Bobby. He can hear you.
I love you, Hound.
He loves
I
you.
love you, Rex.
Oh, it's so cute.
Hey, so
I
Bob,
love you.
Bob, when you come back, you might not be on the show anymore. Is that going to be okay?
It's fine.
He doesn't care. He doesn't care. He doesn't
Yes, he
care about his
I-
job.
I do care. I care, but it'll be fine. I'll just kill myself.
No.
Oh!
We want you back, Bobby.
Bobby, did you go on? Have you gone on any dates in New York?
No, New York women don't like me.
What are
No,
you
he's such a
talking about?
liar.
You're
They
such a
don't like me. They don't. No. They have rough hands.
You need a girl like that's from Brooklyn.
Yeah. Let's get you a.
Where's a lot of gold.
Let's get you a Harlem girl.
Ooh, Harlem.
You want to go up to Harlem? You want to go above the park?
Oh.
You want to go?
Harlem.
Let's get you up to Harlem. All right, hurry back soon. All right, I miss you. Bye.
Bobby just crushing puss in New York. Doesn't even want to tell us about it. That's how much puss.
I would love to watch Bobby's Sex in the City.
I know.
Can I tell you something?
That's exactly
the women that fucking come to say hi to him after the shows. It's insane how hot some of these girls. Like, shocking. Not because it's Bobby. I'm not being meaning, but it's just girls that you're like, who is this fucking stunning chick? And they're obsessed with him.
Yeah.
He's gonna be just fine.
Nobody was worried.
For the fans that
The
are
fans
like,
don't get it.
they're so stupid. They're
They
like,
don't get it.
Bobby, are you gonna be okay?
Like, oh no.
Bobby's gonna be perfectly fucking. And you know what? So is Trevor Wallace, by the way.
What's up, dude?
Thank you all for coming and being on the show. Thank you guys for hanging out. I know this is Saturday and I took up your time, and I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
I really appreciate Trevor Wallace for being a great comic, a good-looking guy.
Oh,
a
look
nice,
at him. He's a great guy. Look at
great
him.
guy.
I look even hotter with
And
these
please
on,
try
man.
to fuck him.
Fuck Trevor Wallace.
Or just like come to a
Fuck
show.
Trevor
No,
Wallace.
don't go to a show.
Don't
no.
be
But then
coy.
fuck me at the show.
Yeah.
During the show.
Yeah.
I did a clothing giveaway. He gives a cock giveaway.
Hey, yo. Thank you.
take it. Maybe you can take it. If I put it down, down, you can have it. Maybe you can have it. If I put it down, down, you can take it. Baby, can you take it? If I put it down, down, you can have it. Maybe you can have it. I've gotta keep my place. So realize you're gone the second I reveal my age. I'll hold your hand, you know I will, baby, we'll win the strife. We'll dance along and starry sky with you. We'll dance along and starry sky with you. I'm only hard 6 full years until the end of time. I can't give up, you are my drug, I need your kiss tonight. I need the sin, I crave this pain, this is a lover's cry. Oh baby, spare me, come and save me, bring me back to life. you right back on your feet, just so you can take advantage of me. Tell me how's it feel sitting out there, feeling so high but too far away to hold me. You know I'm the one who put you out there, name in the sky. Does it ever get lonely? Thinking you could leave without me.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Casual Criminals. As always, I'm your host, Simon. Welcome. Sorry, just warming up. It's first thing. I was going to say it's first thing on a Monday, but it's not. I just got back from a little vacation. It's first thing on a Wednesday. Haven't recorded anything in ages. I'm sorry. I will battle through. I have coffee right here, which I know is not brilliant for the old voice, but yeah, I need it. I need it. It's my life force. So, this is another episode. This is Peter Curtin, the Vampire of Dusseldorf. Thank you to Matt, who wrote this episode. If you're new here, welcome to the Casual Criminalist. The format is, I've never read this script before. We're going to explore it together. I say it's a mid-length piece, 14 pages. Not sure what that will work out to. But yeah, that's not important. Why? You don't need these details. Let's just get into it. Monsters. It's a concept we're all familiar with, both through real life and make-believe. When we're little, we're frightened of the bogeyman under the bed, and as we grow older, we learn of all different types of monsters created through the ages to scare and even entertain. Yeah, my kid's going through. I've got she's almost 3 now. She'll be 3 in November. Maybe she's 3 when this episode comes out. Who knows? But, right, she's not afraid of monsters right now, but she has these nightmares, and she wakes up and she just says, no, Bubbles, no. No Bubbles. And we don't even, I'm immediately thinking it's like a pet called Bubbles, but it's not. She just has, she blows those bubbles, from one of those little bubble maker things. And, yeah, apparently she has nightmares about those. It's weird. Like many nights. Bubbles, no Bubbles. Aw. I wake her up and I tell her it's a nightmare, and then she goes back to sleep.
That's a good dad move.
Then, as we grow even older, we see the horrors of the real world. We learn that sometimes it's the acts of a single person that can leave a true lasting mark on the lives of so many. Murderers, rapists, violent robbers, kidnappers, arsonists. These are the monsters of our daily lives. I get it. I get, murderers, rapists, violent robbers, kidnappers. I mean, arsonists. Sure. Do they really belong in that same category? Because if someone's a kidnapper, I think they're a much worse person than an arson. I guess if there's someone inside the building and they're setting it on fire, then that's just murderer. But someone who sets shit on fire, it's like, I don't think that person falls into the category of murderer, rapist, violent robber, or kidnapper. Do they? Is that just me? I mean, like, if someone kidnapped my family, I'll be a lot more upset than if they burned down my house. Isn't that reasonable? I mean, I'm sure I'm definitely going to have nightmares after that about people burning down my house, but it's not as bad as someone kidnapping or murdering your family, right? Anyway, let's move on from that cheery topic.
I don't know.
These are the monsters that stalk the real world every day, right under our noses. Today, we meet a monster who covers both categories and everything in between as we step once more into the darkness to tell our tale of misery. I must warn you now, Simon, as well as all of our dear viewers, the subject of today's video is perhaps one of the most dementic, sadistic, monstrous, depraved, and literally bloodthirsty individuals we have ever covered on the show. And honestly, Matt, there is a lot of competition for that, because this show has covered the famous bellend, infamous bellend, Pedro Lopez, who I desperately try to forget, but I cannot, because it's horrible. If you haven't seen that episode, don't watch it. Just don't. And I know now people will be like, oh, well, I'm going to watch it because Simon told me not to. Like the other day I said, don't look up crocodile drug on Google Images. Don't do it. But of course people do, because it's like, don't think of an elephant. But really, don't look at that episode. Don't look up Pedro Lopez. You don't want to. I promise you. Before the vile rampages of Lopez and Shipman, before the infamous horror of the Big Four that were Bundy, Dahmer, Ridgway, and Gacy, this psychotic brute was perhaps the most sinister serial killer since Jack the Ripper. This is a man who preyed on the innocent women of Germany for his own sick and twisted sexual satisfaction, leaving a trail of blood a mile long in his wake. A true monster of the real world, with a name bestowed on him worthy of the tales of our childhood nightmares. This is the story of Peter Curtin, the Vampire of Dusseldorf. A world full of miseries and woes and troubles. Let us set the stage for the carnage to come. Peter Kürten was born on May the 26th, 1883, in Mulheim, Cologne, in Germany, at the time known as Mulheim am Rhein. I'm sorry, I'm not going to look up all these German places because it interrupts my flow. And also, I don't want to, so apologies. He was the oldest of 13 children, though at least 2 of them passed away while they were still young. When was this? Yeah, 1880s? Yeah, this was back in the day where it was like you just had multiple children because some are going to die. Oh, Jesus. Apparently people didn't even like get used to, they didn't want to get too close to their children before they were like 2 or 3 years old because they didn't want to get too attached because they'd probably like pop off. And I'm like, that's super intense. Like my kids are in that like younger than that age. One of them's just about to pass the boundary of like reasonable chance of survival, like back in the day. Now it's like if someone's kid dies, it's a travesty. Whereas back in the day, it was just like, yeah, we didn't even give number 3 a name yet. We don't give a name until he's 3.
God, does it suck.
And they lived with their parents in a tiny single-room apartment. Oh my God, that is a lot of people in a single room. I'm like, I live in a fairly large apartment with my family. There's me and my wife and our 2 kids who are very young. And, Americans who are the majority of the show, everything's big. But like, my apartment's what? It's like 130 square meters? Or is that like 1,400 square feet, 1,300 square feet, something like that? And I'm still like, there's like 4 of us in there, and it's too small. It's like the biggest first world problem ever. It's like, back in the day, there'd be at least 700 children in there. As seems typical for most serial killers, Kürten's father was an absolute and utter bag. The man was a raging alcoholic and was prone to beat Kürten and his siblings whenever he felt they stepped out of line. On more than one occasion, his father, who smashed off his skull, smashed off his skull. Sorry, I thought there was some literal skull smashing off there. That'd be a very different scene. Would order his wife and all of his children to assemble in front of him while forcing his wife to strip in front of their children. Then, whether his wife was 100% willing or not, he'd start having sexual intercourse with her right in front of the kids without any concern for how something like that might affect them mentally going forward. Father of the year, am I right? Oh my God, what are you up to, you fucking sicko? And I know this is like casual criminalist rule number 2. After rule number 1, don't write down your crimes. I'm not sure if it is actually rule number 2. There's like an official canon of rules. But it should be don't f*** up your kids. Like this. Don't do it. It's weird. Being the oldest, Peter was the most frequently targeted of the children for his father's cruelty, so much so that he would refuse to come home from school and ran away on multiple occasions. He had wandered the streets for days, even weeks, all while becoming accustomed to the darker side of human life. Spending much of his time with outcasts and petty criminals, he was very quickly introduced to a life of crime early on, all in the name of feeding and clothing himself while on the streets. It was while on the streets that Kürten made the acquaintance of a local dog catcher who lived in the same building as his family. Oh, I just realized that he's the kid. Oh, give me a break. Everyone at home is following along, and somehow I'm the man reading this, and I'm like, it's the father who's the bad person. It's like, no. He just ruins this kid enough so that he grows up to become some sort of murderous vampire. So yeah, always remember rule number 2. The 2 became close, and the dog catcher would begin letting Peter join him on his rounds about town, looking for any strays wandering the street. Kürten seemed to have all the rotten luck when it came to older male role models, as while spending time with this man, he was shown acts of utter cruelty. He was taught how to torture and even kill many of the dogs they had captured. I think there's a big difference here. This is like 1880. There's stray dogs, and of course there's people who are going to go round as a job and capture and kill these stray dogs. That happens today, right? I can't believe I don't know this, but like there's stray dogs and there's not homes for all those stray dogs, and there's not some sort of big magical place where all of the stray dogs go. They put those dogs down, don't they? Which is all kinds of depressing. And I'm not, people would be like, I mentioned before, like I'm not the biggest dog fan. I'm not a crazy like dog fan like so many people are. But obviously I'm not all for like killing dogs. Jesus. I made a statement which turned out to be incredibly controversial on another channel I do, that I said I'd committed dog genocide before I killed a single person. And I'm like, and people are like, how can you value the life of people above the lives of dogs? And I still stand by that because, yeah, people are pieces of shit, but most people aren't. Oh my God. And now I'm going to get cancelled on this show as well for that. And this show is much more popular. So
He's just a dog, Jen.
Just a dog?
I don't know. I just want to be honest about it though. I think, oh God, I'm just going to stop. I'm digging myself a huge hole. Huge hole. This is the biggest hole I've dug on this channel, and we've dug some holes.
The golden rule is, if you've got yourself in a hole, stop digging.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say, sorry, to get back to the point, is that, yeah, like capturing and killing dogs back in the day or whatever, that could be seen as a profession that, unfortunately, that has to happen, apparently. But torturing the dogs, why? That would be like, yeah, no, we have to execute this man. Let's torture him first. That's the sort of crazy that goes down in, like, serial killers' basements and, I don't know, Iran or some like that. Like, let's not be doing that. Let's not be torturing things before we kill them. It's just weird and unnecessary.
It's not, okay? It sucks. It does.
He was taught how to torture and even kill the dogs they captured, the older man even going so far as to show young Peter how to properly perform bestiality on the poor defenseless animals. Matt, what are you writing? Properly perform bestiality? There is no proper way to perform bestiality, Matt. Bestiality is not something that should be performed anyway at all. It's definitely illegal and fucking weird. All this evil. Don't kink shame, Simon. No, in this case, we're cool with that. All this evil, everything he had been forced to experience and endure, it had already started to take its toll on Curtin, and eventually this little man simply accepted that the world he lived in was a cruel one where the strong survive, one where you take what you want, and one where life is a fragile thing, one he could manipulate. He soon put that to the test, and the test was successful. When he was only 9 years old, Peter Curtin claimed his first 2 souls. When he was 9. He's got some serious Mary Blandy going on right now, which is another horrible episode that you don't want to listen to. While out on a raft with a pair of other children, Peter suddenly forced the head of one of the boys under the water and held it there. The boy struggled for his life under the water while the other boy leapt into the water to try and help his friend, only to meet the same fate. The police were called, they investigated, and they deemed the whole ordeal an accident. And in this case, I totally don't blame the police, because there is no witnesses. And what happens in this Curtin Bellend would be like, yeah, no, it was an accident, they fell overboard and drowned. And there's no evidence to the contrary. They just drowned. And he's 9. The police aren't going to be like, you psycho murderer. They're going to be like, oh my God, I can't believe he went through that. That poor kid. No man knows till he experiences it. Eventually, Curtin's father was arrested and jailed in 1897 after raping Peter's 13-year-old sister. Jesus. While he was behind bars, his mother got a formal separation order, soon remarrying and moving the whole family to Dusseldorf. Now with his father out of the picture, you'd think that perhaps there'd be room for Curtin to grow properly as a person, right? Well, no. Sadly, the putrid apple doesn't fall far from the rotting tree. Taking cue from his horrible father, Peter soon began raping his sister, the same one his father had raped prior, all under his mother's nose. Rule number 2! Rule number 2! This guy's a psycho. Peter's sexual nature continued to twist and distort him as he grew older and older. Eventually, he began a relationship with a girl in school the same age. This might have had the chance to be good for him, the first real relationship with a woman in his life, but sadly, it only sent him spiraling further into the darkness. While the young lady allowed Peter to undress and fondle her, every time he attempted anything explicitly sexual, she denied him outright. Being a pent-up teenage boy with sexual urges is something most of us can understand and sympathize with. Yes, of course. But we're not going to do whatever the this guy does next. However, I don't believe would go to the lengths Curtin did in order to find his sweet release. Sneaking into the nearby stables. Oh, the young degenerate would end up satisfying himself with sheep, goats, and pigs. Oh, dude, it's here that the monster would escalate yet again, and in doing so would unlock what would be his main source of pleasure for the remainder of his life. What the dude? While doing the thing with the unfortunate livestock, Curtin pulled out a knife and drove it directly into the jugular of the poor creature. Oh my lord. I have no words. This is beyond up. Blood sprayed and dripped out of the open wound as the defenseless creature cried out in pain at the sight of the crimson essence pouring out of the animal and its life fading away with every pump of its heart. Curtin felt a rush of pleasure and elation that he'd never felt before, achieving orgasm. Oh, dude, what? I just said it already, but again, I must reiterate, this is... Someone needs to get this guy and put him into one of those padded rooms with the glass mirror so people can just watch him all the time and make sure, like, whatever drug... This is like the 1880s! We need to put him on, like, I don't know, whatever powerful drugs they make to just turn him into some sort of zombie. Jesus. What the f***? Hematolagnia. That sounds about right. Hematolagnia is a sexual fetish where one gets aroused and achieves climax by the sight of blood. Well, fortunately, it's not a word that I'm going to have to use very often, or hopefully ever again. Although I am doing a true crime podcast, so let's learn that word. This can be heightened by the act of licking or drinking said blood, but usually the simple sight of it will do. If you felt dirty reading that, believe me when I say I felt even dirty having to look up the information, let alone writing it. I know it's not cool to kink shame, but I think we'll have to give a pass on this one. Yes, definitely. It was what I brought up before and I was making fun of it. And people had to go at me being like, that Simon, you shouldn't kink shame like that. And then I was like, okay, I get it. And now I'm sort of super sensitive towards it because you don't want to get cancelled. But no, there's clearly a line. There's clearly a line. And this crosses that line. So, blood. No. Although, I mean, as long as it's not... Let's not dig holes. So I'm not into it. The revelation only furthered Curtin's descent into depravity. He would more frequently visit the stables, each time viciously raping the animals, all while plunging his knife into their bodies again and again with increasing ferocity. The more blood was spilled, the more powerful the release he felt, and the extreme violence more than likely aided in the amplification of his twisted pleasure. Curtin left school in 1897 at the age of 14, and 2 years later, in 1899, he ran away from home and relocated to the city of Koblenz after stealing all the money you could find at his household, as well as about 300 marks from his employer at the time. It was there that he began a relationship with a prostitute 2 years his senior, one who he would later state was up for every sexual perversion that his dark imagination could conjure. It didn't last long, though, as he was arrested a month later and charged with breaking and entering as well as theft. Sentenced to a month in jail, he was released in August of that same year. As hopefully, from that point on, we kept a really close eye on him, except no, we didn't, because this script has like 11 more pages. It was during the year of 1899 that Peter Curtin attempted his first kill as an adult. He claimed, while speaking to the police years later, that he picked up an 18-year-old girl and persuaded her to accompany him to the Hofgarten. Before anyone asked, the Hofgarten is a well-known public park in Dusseldorf. If Curtin is to be believed, he and the girl had sex in the park, and after finishing, he strangled her until she passed out, and he left her laying there believing that he had killed her. Please tell me that the police are like, is that same guy we arrested for theft? He attempted murder. Let's lock him up forever in a padded room and put him on all the drugs. This claim is dubious at best, as there was no report of a murder or assault during that time, so it's more than likely that if his story is true, the girl survived and simply decided not to report the attack. Yes, unfortunately, this was like the 1890s or whatever, and having sex in the park is probably is shameful enough not to go and report that to the police, even though he strangled you to what he thought was death afterwards. Ah, the past, it was the worst.
That's true.
That is true.
Regardless, Peter claimed that it was with this single act that his belief was set in stone in his mind that to achieve the greatest pleasure on earth, he had to hurt people. More than that, he had to kill people. It sounds like this guy is those, you know when like someone's... I heard this about people being into feet, that there's a specific, like there's two parts of the brain that like pleasure centers or whatever, that like one is sexual and one is like feet or whatever, and they're close to each other. So apparently like that sometimes gets, this sounds like such nonsense and I can't remember where I read it, but apparently the wires can get crossed sometimes and that's why that happens. This guy has more wires crossed. He has some mega wires crossed. His brain is all sorts of scrambled. We've all become God's madmen. All of us. It didn't take long for Curtin to once again end up behind bars. The next year, in 1900, he'd be arrested for fraud, not once, but twice. The theft he'd perpetrated against his family and employer the year prior, along with the attempted murder of a young woman with a firearm, were added to his charges, and he was convicted of all of it, spending 4 years in prison in Derendorfer borough of Dusseldorf. By the summer of 1900, is it Dusseldorf or Dusseldorf? Have I been it? Is one like the American pronunciation? Dusseldorf. Doesn't matter, let's move on. By the summer of 1904, Curtin was a free man once more, but he didn't remain so for long. Almost as soon as he was set free, he was drafted into the Imperial German Army. Now, I'm not saying that prison is better than the army, but given the time period, what is this? What is going on in Germany? Beginning of the 20th century? We're 10 years away from the First World War. Oh god, what was Germany involved in? But given the time period and the fact that this was Germany, I doubt it was a cakewalk by any means. Apparently, Peter didn't think so either, as he was deployed to the city of Metz in Lorraine to serve in the 98th Infantry Regiment. He promptly deserted. It's now that we come to what would be the final mark on our serial killer checklist. Does it? Is he a serial killer yet? He's killed those 2 boys when he was a kid, and he attempted murder. I think he still has to serial kill for him to be a serial killer. In the autumn of that year, Curtin started lighting fires. Acts of arson, much like the killing of animals and prior trauma at the hands of awful parents, are very much in character for most serial killers, as it gives them a sense of power, the power to kill and destroy at the monster's fingertips, the power to hurt and to burn anyone and anything in their path, setting barns and haylofts ablaze. Curtin would look on from a distance, an evil smile plastered on his face as he watched his handiwork consume all in its path, chuckling as emergency services did their best to extinguish the inferno. In his later confessions to the police, he confessed to have set a total of 24 fires after he deserted the military before he was caught on New Year's Eve. Smiling the whole time, he confessed to doing so in order to gain sexual arousal at the thought of perhaps having burnt a few homeless people to ashes. You psycho. Some Patrick Bateman right there. Because of his, not the burning, the murdering of homeless people. Although, wasn't that all in his mind? Anyway, because of his desertion, Curtin was tried in military court. He was convicted of desertion in addition to multiple counts of arson, robbery, and attempted robbery. He served a sentence between 1905 and 1913. What is that, 5 to 8 years? That's a good sentence. That's pretty solid. Nice job, Germany. In the independent city of Münster, where he spent most of his time in solitary confinement due to multiple issues, incidents of insubordination. What a surprise. The guy who deserted the army was insubordinate in prison and doesn't like authority. Shocking. It was during this long stint in prison that everything fully came together for this abomination against mankind. While behind bars, stuck in solitary, Curtin's rage against the society and humanity as a whole increased, as did his need for destruction and bloodshed. Being in military prison, he was exposed to extreme forms of disciplinary punishment, and with this new revelation, everything gelled together in one horrifically macabre package. The erotic fantasies he'd created for himself while assaulting women and molesting animals, mixed with the need to see the spraying scarlet viscera at the edge of his knife, expanded into the want and need to stalk poor unfortunate souls in the dark streets like a predator ready to pounce. Oh, what surprising news. Prison made him worse. The deaths of the masses, their screams in his ears, and their blood seeping through his fingers, they became the ever-forefront thoughts in his mind from that moment on, at times causing him to spontaneously ejaculate simply from lingering on these demented and perverted fantasies for too long. Dude. Peter Curtin was released from prison in 1913, and from there he moved to Mulholm am Rhein. His crimes to this point had been horrible and damning, but if only the army had known the atrocities that were to come, they might have never let him go. Oh boy, Matt, if they had known the atrocities to come, they would have never let him go. And if they knew, and if they were like, well, we can't keep him in prison for crimes that he hasn't committed yet, then I would hope that some guard or some other prisoner would be like, hey, let's go take a shower and bring our shanks. My bloodlust is strong for this one. Not his type of bloodlust. I just want him to die so he doesn't commit horrible crimes. Just to make that absolutely clear. Didn't need to do that. For now, Peter Curtin was free, and he was ready to act on every last one of his deranged fantasies, bringing about a coup de grace on his life of crime in the most insane and blood-drenched way possible. Night had fallen over Germany, and the vampire was on the hunt. The blood is life, and it shall be mine. Curtin was back on the streets once more, and it didn't take long for him to get back to his old ways. Why, when someone is released from prison, they do watch you, right? I just know this from movies, but you go to like a halfway house with some other prisoners and they keep tracking you, and then you got that parole officer who's like checking on you after you've been released and shit and make sure that you're not up to some horrible shit. Aren't they doing that? They're keeping an eye on you because they should be. They should be. One thing, I think, like, I don't know, get released from police prison early and wear like a GPS tracker or something. I know this is the past, so we're obviously talking about the present now, but there's all sorts. Can't we start using technology more thoroughly, like for this sort of stuff? I don't know. It's just got thoughts on that. While it's clear that one of the main purposes for prison is rehabilitation, that's debatable. Sometimes there's just no changing a monster. On May the 25th, 1913, Curtin broke into a tavern in his neighborhood late at night in order to burgle the place. While prowling the residence, he made his way to the inn portion of the establishment where the owners lived, and he came across little Christine Klein, the 9-year-old daughter of the tavern inn owner, asleep in her bed. Face to sleeping face with the young girl, all those devilish fantasies bubbled up to the surface of his mind. Barn animals and prostitutes weren't enough, he needed more. Without further hesitation, Peter Curtin pounced on the sleeping child, wrapping his hands around her throat and strangling her. As soon as she was unconscious, he pulled out a pocket knife from his pants, and without remorse or questioning, he sliced her throat open in 2 swift strikes. Blood splattered over his hand and dripped into the floor, causing this depraved beast to climax instantly. What the f***, dude? It's a kid. It's a kid. To quote, her head was facing the window. I seized it with my left hand and struggled for a minute and a half. Yeah, all hard pass. We're not going to read that, Matt. Let's just move on. A young life snuffed out, an innocent soul stolen, and sadly, she was only the first. Yeah, sometimes I feel like with the extended quotes from the perpetrators of these crimes, it's just like, I don't want to give these faces a voice. This show, as I always say, is not about them. It's about the crimes. I mean, of course it's about them. That sounds stupid to say. It's otherwise in the title of the episode. Like, don't get too high and mighty, Simon. But I do want it to be more about the victims, and I want it to be about the crimes, and I want it to not be about extended quotes from horrible people. The next day, Curtin, because all these guys are narcissists, and they like the idea that their quotes are getting read, and they probably don't like the idea of me all over them. I mean, the great news is they're all this guy's, long dead. Pretty much everyone we cover on this channel is either dead or in prison, except for that Pedro Lopez who somehow escaped, which is insane. That guy. The next day, Curtin returned to the scene of the crime. Now, before you blow a gasket, Simon, it wasn't to the tavern itself, but to one across the way. He sat a smile on his face as he overheard the distraught and disgusted comments of the patrons around him. The news of the death of little Christine had gotten out and outrage was palpable, all to the delight of the vampire. The cherry on top, Christine Klein's uncle had recently gotten into a pretty heated argument with her father, and now with her dead, he became the #1 murder suspect. Look, I've got into pretty heated arguments in my life. What I've not done afterwards is murder their child, because that is psycho. Why would you assume that is an insane assumption? Eventually, the poor man was cleared of suspicion, but to see him squirm put a huge grin on the face of the actual killer, a true sociopath, finding amusement in the suffering and misery of others. 2 months later, the vampire struck again, another break-in, another burglary attempt, and Peter Curtin came across his next victim. Sound asleep in a bed was 17-year-old Gertrude Franklin, and the monster wasted no time. Leaping upon the bed, he wrapped his hands around her throat as her eyes shot open, and he throttled her savagely as she slipped into unconsciousness. Blood began to spurt from her mouth as the force of his grip causing Curtin to finish once again. His business finished, he actually left poor Gertrude alive, escaping, much like the first time, totally undetected. No one but a woman can help a man. Mere days after the near miss on Gertrude Franklin's life, and with all the intent in the world to continue painting the town red, Curtin was once more arrested. No, not for the killing of a young girl and the brutal assault of another. He wasn't even close to being on the suspect list at this point. No, this time it was for arson and burglary once again. And once again, he was found guilty. Sentenced to 6 years behind bars and imprisoned in a military prison in the town of Brague, his constant instances of subordination landed him an additional 2 years to his sentence. Released from prison in April of 1921, the walking pile of waste moved in with his sister in the city of Altenburg. If I was this guy's relatives, and knowing the that he got up to when we were kids, like, I assume this is not the sister he raped, but surely she's gonna know. Be like, no, mate, absolutely not. You're not getting out of prison for violent crimes and coming to live with me, you psycho. We are not family. You don't have to, like, all of this, like, the blood is thicker than water and all that shit. Yo, when your blood relative is a psycho killer, you don't have to be nice to them. There's plenty of, like, I don't think just because you're related to someone that you have to be there for them. I think you should be, as a default rule. But if they are a piece of shit, or even if they're not, even if you just don't like them very much, I don't think there's any real obligation there. Obviously, parent to child, totally different. But like other relationships, like brother and sister, I don't know. I'm not like, I don't think that's that. It's not that much of a they must help each other relationship. It was during his time here and with his sister's assistance that Peter struck up a romance with one August Scharf, a shop proprietor and former sex worker, 3 years his senior. I realized to use the word prostitute earlier. We're not supposed to use that word. It's sex worker, apparently. And then someone emailed me saying, like, you can't use sex worker. I'm like, for the fuck's sake, I try. What am I supposed to use? Someone was like, you should use prostitute. And I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake, it's very difficult. I ignored that because it was just one person and more people have said that sex work is the correct one to use. Let me know in the comments. I'm happy to learn. I'm trying. Darkness sounds like some old man stuck in my ways. It's just like things change regularly. Darkness must attract darkness because Auguste didn't have the most squeaky clean record either. Not so much for her history as a sex worker, but because she'd previously been convicted and imprisoned for gunning down her fiancé, a match truly made in the deepest depths of Hades. Posing, I don't know, like, if she gunned down her fiancé, she probably had a good reason. Like, I'm always like willing to cut women in the past a bit of slack. It's like, why did she poison her husbands? Because she couldn't get a divorce because that's what society said and he beat and raped her and that's just not recorded because it's the past. So I'm willing to give her a little bit of a break on this one. We don't know if that's the case. Maybe she was just a psycho murderer. But, I don't know, there's probably more to that story, isn't there? Posing as an ex-prisoner of war, Curtin swept this woman off her feet, the two marrying only 2 years later. It's to be noted that while the two did engage in sexual intercourse, Curtin was only able to get it up and actually perform by fantasizing about brutally slaughtering another woman all the while. Hell, the pathetic sod wouldn't even attempt to consummate their marriage on the wedding night until she actually invited him to bed. In 1925, Curtin and his bride relocated back to Dusseldorf. The marriage was clearly not a happy one up to that point, but as soon as they got themselves settled, Curtin almost immediately started an affair with not one but two different women, the servant girl Tieda and the housemaid Mech. Curtin even managed to work in partial strangulation whenever he took either of them to bed. Auguste eventually found out about the affairs and was not pleased, to say the least. She wasn't mad at the two mistresses though, blaming everything on her husband, and it was on her suggestion that both Teed and Mech instantly dropped Curtin like a bad habit and reported him to the police. Teeda reported that he seduced her, while Mech cried full-blown rape. For some reason, the rape charge was dropped, but the seduction charge was carried out along with one for threatening behavior. Oh, seduction used to be a crime? Holy shit. Curtin being slapped with an 8-month sentence for his trouble. How can he's been like in prison so many times? Can't we do that American thing? What do the Americans do? Where it's like, oh yeah, like the 3 strikes. I know it's insane. But for this guy, we need this shit, right? It's like, yo, bro. You can't commit arson, get accused of rape, then seduction, and not go to prison forever. Everyone knows you're a piece of everyone knows you're going to continue committing crimes. Let's get that 3 strike going. Come on. He was released after just 6 months under the condition that he leave Dusseldorf, but he somehow managed to appeal that decision. Why is anyone listening to this prick at this point? Being like, bro, no, you leave Dusseldorf, you go back to prison. Can't we just send you to Alaska or something? Or not Alaska. I mean Siberia. Like the middle of nowhere. Let's just send him out. Did we have gulags yet? Let's get him in a gulag. Come on. I know it's Germany and that's Russia, but let's go. Come on. Ah. The children of the night, what music they make. Almost as soon as he was released from prison, the vampire of Dusseldorf struck once more. Hold on to your butts, everyone. This is going to be long and it's going to be bad. On February, dude, he already murdered a 9-year-old in our home. How much worse is it going to get? Now I'm a little bit afraid. Did I have to start with this, like, first thing back from my f***ing holiday? And I was having such a relaxing time. I was out in the countryside, having some nice barbecues. It rained a lot, but I didn't care. It's been so hot lately. It's like mid-30s, late 30s, which I don't know what it is in Fahrenheit. It's hot. And it was so nice. It was like, oh, yes. And I come back and I read about 9-year-olds getting murdered. Straight into it, Whistle. Good job. On February the 3rd, 1929, an elderly woman by the name of Apollinia Kuhn was walking the streets of Dusseldorf, unaware that she was being watched from the shadows. As soon as she was partially obscured by the bushes, a figure suddenly leapt at the old woman, grabbing her violently by the coat. Average height, with a round face complete with double chin, neatly combed dark hair, and a rather distinctive stained moustache. He looks like the unholy offspring of Adolf Hitler and Pumpkinhead. "No row! Don't scream!" Curtin cried. Dragging her into the undergrowth, the monster proceeded to stab the helpless woman a total of 24 times with a sharpened pair of scissors, injuring her horribly, but she was able to survive. 1929, and she's surviving 24. We had antibiotics then, so that's at least good. 24, good lord. 5 days, and that is, I think getting stabbed with a sharper pair of scissors 24 times is worse than getting stabbed with a knife 24 times, because that's like kind of getting, I mean, it's not a blunt object, but it's not as sharp as a knife, which would be, I feel like, give a cleaner wound somehow. Why are we debating this? We don't need to. Let's just move on. I don't need these thoughts in my mind. The same couldn't be said for his next victim. 5 days later, on February the 8th, Curtin strangled 9-year-old Rosa Oehliger until she lost consciousness. He then proceeded to absolutely annihilate the poor girl, stabbing her multiple times with the same pair of scissors in the stomach, temple, genitals, and heart, killing the poor child. As if he wasn't depraved enough, this ghoul of a man then took his fiendish finish. Oh my god. Okay, so let's just say that he commits a pretty horrible act of sexual assault on there, which I've read, and let's just say Matt says, "I feel dirty beyond words just typing that." If you want to pause the video and look that up, you can. But let's just say it's a really, really horrible act of sexual assault. And necrophilia, I suppose. Sort of. Don't dig too far into this, dear listener. He then did his best to hide the body, dragging her into the hedge before returning later on with a kerosene canister, setting the body ablaze as he once more climaxed to the putrid, burning smell. What was left of her was found several days later. Okay. 5 more days passed before the vampire attacked once more. This one was different from his prior victims for the simple fact that this victim was a man, namely a 45-year-old mechanic, Rudolf Scheer. Curtin stabbed him 20 times in the head, back, and eyes, killing him. His body was discovered several days later, to which Curtin returned to the scene to observe the investigation. The police none the wiser. Between March and July of 1929, Curtin attempted to strangle a total of 4 women, though none of them actually died during said attacks. His next murder occurred on August the 11th. This was Maria Hahn, an attractive-looking young lady who Curtin had met only 3 days beforehand. Gaining her interest, this horrid hobgoblin suggested taking her out on a date to the Neanderthal Valley that Sunday, which Maria agreed to. Luring her into the meadow that day, Curtin proceeded to strangle the young woman as she pleaded for her life. He ignored her, of course, continued to throttle her as she begged and screamed, stabbed her multiple times in the head and chest. It took poor Maria up to an hour to die, undoubtedly filled with fear and pain the whole way through. He would later return to the body to burn it, intending to crucify the remains to a tree to disgust and disturb the general public, but her body proved to be too heavy, so he simply laid underneath her burnt and decomposing body, gently caressing it, feeling it, and as he put it, he was filled with satisfaction. Dude, your brain is so scrambled. I want to say, like, and I know it's often used as like an excuse or whatever, but this guy, I don't think he needs to go to prison. He needs to go to, like, he needs to be locked in a mental institution, and the key needs to be thrown the away. Because this guy is not right. Like, this isn't, you know, I think he's just off his rocker. 3 months are just, his brain is scrambled. 3 months after the murder of Han, the vampire wrote to the police. He anonymously confessed to the killing of poor Maria, told them her body was buried in a field, as well as supplying them with a detailed map to the body. Very Jack the Ripper-esque, if you ask me. After that, Curtin kicked it up a notch. In the early morning of August the 21st, alone, Curtin attacked and stabbed 3 separate people, an 18-year-old girl, a 30-year-old man, and a 37-year-old woman. Each time he used a knife, each victim was severely wounded, and each victim said the same thing. The attacker simply walked up to them and began stabbing them, not uttering a single word. It was totally random, making it ever more terrifying. How have you not caught this guy yet? I know it's the past, so we don't have the kind of, like, great technology and all that stuff yet, but Jesus, come on. 3 days later, on August the 24th, foster sisters Louise Lenzen and Gertrude Hachmacher, ages 14 and 5 respectively, were walking together at a fairground in the suburb of Fleur when they were approached by Curtin. He offered Louise 20 Pfennig if she would run and grab him a pack of cigarettes, promising to look after her sister as she did so. Louise did. What the f*** are you doing? Do not leave your 5-year-old sister alone with anyone, even if unless they're a police officer and you've checked their ID. Do not leave. I feel like this was the advice I was given as a kid, but even now I'd be like, no, people could fake IDs. Don't leave your like if my kids were out and they left the younger kid with a random stranger and everything turned out fine and they were just a nice random person, I would be absolutely livid. I would be beyond angry. And they'd be like, but I don't understand. Everything was okay. And it's like, yes, this time. 99% of times, it's going to be fine. But the one time it isn't. I'd be so pissed. Well, you know what happened next. As soon as he was given the chance, Curtin lifted the 5-year-old up by the throat, strangling her viciously as she fainted, before slicing open her throat and discarding her body in a bush. As soon as Louise returned, Curtin attacked her. She attempted to escape, but it was no use. Curtin strangled her, stabbed her in the torso, one puncture, cutting her aorta. He then lived up to his nickname, biting into her throat and sucking the blood from the open wound. Mental hospital. Mental hospital. Throw away the key. A day later, he approached Gertrude Schultz, a 27-year-old housemaid, demanding sex from her. Obviously, she turned him down flat, to which the depraved beast shouted, "Well, die then!" He proceeded to stab her in the head, neck, shoulder, and back. She survived, but whether it be from the shock of it all or the blood loss she suffered, she wasn't able to provide a substantial description to the police. 2 more attempted murders occurred in September before the vampire ditched his trusty knife in favor of a hammer. In the evening hours of September the 31st... January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August... No. No. I really doubted myself then. It can't be September the 31st, Matt. What are you talking about? That date doesn't exist, Matt. It's either got to be the 1st of October or the 30th of September. What are you smoking? Okay. It's one of those things where it's like, uh-oh. Research. I'm sure it's just a typo. Curtin attacked 31-year-old servant girl Ida Rauter after luring her to a cafe, taking a walk through the local Hofgarten close to the Rhine River. On this fictional day in Germany, September the 31st, he struck her viciously in the skull with a hammer, raped her, then hit her over and over again, killing the girl. 11 days later, on October the 11th, that's a real date, 11 days later, so I guess it was October the 1st this happens. Or September the 30th. Oh god, how would that be? October the 11th. I guess it could be both, depending on how you want to phrase it. No, it'd be October the 1st, wouldn't it? 11 days later, October the 1st, 2nd... Oh, I'm so confused. Let's just leave it alone.
Yes, please.
Curtin proceeded to do the same thing to another servant girl, this time 22-year-old Elizabeth Doria. Luring her to a cafe before taking her for a walk along the Klein-Dussel River, he attacked her with his hammer, striking her hard in the temple. He then proceeded to rape her before striking her repeatedly in the head and both temples. He then left her for dead, and she was found the following morning, dying in hospital the following day. Peter Curtin's final fatal attack occurred on November the 7th, 1929. This was 5-year-old Gertrude Alberman, persuading the young child to follow him to an isolated area. He strangled the poor girl before stabbing her once in the temple with a pair of scissors. Don't just pray. You know, I'm gonna hammer this into my kids so hard. Do not go the anywhere with strangers. And I've mentioned this before, but I heard the best thing to do, because we'll be at the park, right? And it'll be just me and my kids. And I'd be like, look, kids, we gotta go home. No, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. He's like, you're taking a screaming kid out of the park. Which I think I told this story as well. A friend of mine had this, and he was walking home from the shopping mall, and the police, someone called the police on him because they were like, just in case. And the police showed up at his house. I can't remember how they found out where he lived or whatever, but they knock on the door and they're just like, yeah, we're just making sure everything's okay because we heard a man carrying a screaming kid home from somewhere, or from somewhere to somewhere else, and we came to check in. And my mate initially was like, what the it's my daughter. And then he immediately was like, oh, this is really good police work. Thank you so much. Because, yeah, 99% of the time, or 99.999, whatever, it's fine. It's just a parent and their kid's having a fit. But one time it's not. But back to my original thing. The thing apparently to teach your kids is to tell them, if it's not you, to start screaming, you're not my mum, you're not my dad. And apparently, and that's sends chill. It's like, that is creepy. And it's like, but apparently that's what you should teach the kids to say, because that'll get people's attention rather than a screaming kid. Someone screaming, you're not my mum, you're not my dad, is way more intense. And you'll be like, excuse me, is this your mum? Or more likely, is this your dad? I just don't imagine. I know women also kidnap children, but it's mostly sick men, isn't it? Let's be honest, statistically. Be like, is that actually your dad? And if they answer no, just be like, okay, I'm going to need you to wait here, both of you. You're going to call the police just to make sure. They're going to check your IDs. Just to be safe. Just to be safe. Holy If you're ever unsure, intervene. Even though she was clearly dead at this point, he then proceeded to stab the body of the child a total of 34 times in the temple and chest before dumping her corpse in a nearby pile of nettles. All this carnage and bloodshed and misery, all of this occurred within a single year. So many dead, so many wounded and traumatized. All the while, the demon who caused all of it walked free and without a care. It makes me sick to my stomach that I wasn't able to find more information on the lives of those whose souls were stolen by this vicious maniac. Yes, some of them were far too young to have much information to start with, but even those on the older side have been simply relegated to names in a book, in a video, on a web page, or a police report. These were people like you and I, with hopes and dreams, lives of our own. And yet this is what they've been relegated to. I hate it, but this is the world we live in. The vampire ended all of their lives for his own grotesque satisfaction, but that would all soon come crashing down. A smile that Judas in hell might be proud of. Through the entirety of our journey, I'm sure there's been a question that's been buzzing around your heads. Where were the police? And the short answer is chasing their own damn tails. The public were in a panic as 1929 was coming to a close. So many girls had either been killed or almost killed that the police had no clue where to start. Really? Start anywhere, police. Just choose a random victim and just be like, that's where we're going to start. Let's go from there. Surely that's not the actual issue. The biggest issue during most of the investigation, the simple fact that the authorities were strictly of the opinion that given all of the victims were of varying ages, it made all the sense in the world to them that it was the work of multiple murderers, not the handiwork of a single madman. Hell, Rudolf Scheer, Curtin's only male murder victim that year, wasn't even linked to him until he personally confessed to it. The police were going around in circles, the pressure of public outcry on their shoulders, all while Curtin wasn't even close to being on their suspect list. Ernst Gennat was the chief inspector of the Berlin police at the time of the Curtin murder spree. With a career spanning 30 years, he was one of the first to realize that it was crucial to preserve the crime scene as it was found in order to find proper evidence. I know that sounds laughable today, but this was the past. The homicide division thrived under his guidance, solving about 95% of cases that came their way. God damn, bravo! It was because of him, along with a rather arrogant mistake by the monster haunting their streets, that the police were put on the right track. 2 days after his final murder, Curtin created and sent a map to a local communist newspaper revealing the location of the body of Maria Hahn. In his arrogance, he also felt the need to mark where he had left the body of little Gertrude Alberman. Not only did this clearly link the murder of these two victims together, but it was because of this overconfident gloating that the police now had a sample of the killer's handwriting. After careful examination, it was clear as day that the creator of this map was also the author of the nameless letters they'd been receiving for months. Every letter Curtin had written and sent to the police and media were investigated further, all concluded to be written by the same hand. Again, it was over the moon they finally had a break in the case. All these murders, no matter how improbable it seemed to the naked eye, were committed by the same monster. And just like that, the net had started to slowly close over the vampire, and it would be one final mistake that would end his reign of terror for good. The good God fashioned her for a purpose. 1930 came around, and several more attacks were reported to the police. Each was a woman, each was struck with a hammer, and their attacker attempted to strangle them before running off, leaving them bloody and gasping for breath. The police now had a more concrete description of the attacker, and the hunt continued in earnest. This now brings us to one Maria Budlik, a 20-year-old unemployed woman who resided in Dusseldorf at the time of the attacks. She was looking for employment as well as a more stable place to live when she was approached by a stranger while at Dusseldorf station. Learning the pretty young lady was in search of a job and a place to lay her head, the stranger suggested that she follow him as he had the perfect place in mind. As the man began leading Maria toward a wooded area, she became apprehensive and the two got into a bit of a tiff. That's when a new man came to the rescue of Maria, scaring the creep away. This wonderful savior, of course, was our favorite life juice leech, Peter Curtin. Oh God, just as I thought it was the other way round. I thought that Peter Curtin was the guy luring her, and then this guy came in to save the day, and he'd be the guy who gets Curtin arrested, and hey, everything's better now. But no. Just as Count Dracula preyed on Mina Harker and Lucy Westenra, Curtin knew exactly what he wanted from Maria as soon as he laid eyes on her, originally inviting her to his residence at the Mettmanner Strasse, to which she refused. He instead led her to Grafenberg Woods, where he raped the poor woman and tried to strangle her. This is where the vampire makes his one fatal mistake. He let her go. Yes, for some unfathomable reason, after Maria swore that she did not remember what Curtin's home address was, he released his grip and he let her leave, fortunately sparing her life. This is something that happens. This would never happen in a movie because it would be too unbelievable. It'd be like, no, he wouldn't do that, but he did. And, dude, that is also insane. Now, Maria didn't go to the police right away, instead venting her fears and frustrations to a friend in a letter. Really? A clerk received the letter and, seeing the postage was wrong, took it upon himself to open it, contacting the police shortly after reading it. What? Don't be doing that. I mean, I know this led to, like, him saving the day and all that. But if you got a letter and it's wrong, just return it to sender or throw it away and the person won't get it, and that's fine. Don't be reading people's private letters. Isn't that illegal? That same letter made it all the way to Chief Inspector Gennat, who set to interview Maria immediately, suspecting the man who attacked her was the monster that he'd been hunting for the last year. Maria told him everything that happened, including the address of her assailant. Speaking with the landlady of the apartment, she confirms the address, as well as his occupant, Peter Curtin. Realizing he'd been caught, Curtin fled. His identity was now known to the police. He knew he had been fingered as a suspect of the murders over the past year. He confessed to his wife about all of his rapes, and he went into hiding. When he finally returned home on the 23rd of May, he broke down and told her everything. Whether he saw the writing on the wall or not, he told her about all of his crimes, the murders included. He told her to turn him in and to claim the money on his head, perhaps the one true loving thing that he ever did for her. Auguste did just that, spilling all she'd been told to the police, and that afternoon the vampire of Dusseldorf was finally arrested. Dude, I don't understand. Like, you're a criminal who is committing horrible crimes, and you know at some point you're going to get caught because you flee. How have you not got a better fleeing plan? Like, if you're a criminal, have some ready to go. Have a plan of action to get out of town. Come on. It's basic crime here. Come on. The year-long night of bloodshed and sorrow was finally over. At least, sunrise. Despair has its own calms. While in custody, Peter Curtin admitted to every single atrocity that he had committed, both to the crimes that the police had already suspected him of and to the ones they had no idea he had done. 68 crimes in total, including 9 murders, 31 attempted murders. He told them everything. He made no excuses for his crimes. He made it clear that he did everything for his own monstrous sexual gratification, and the sight of blood of his innocent victims stimulated him in ways that they couldn't possibly imagine. And even in the end, the sick bastard tried to show that he had some morals, making a point to the police that he never tortured any of the children whose lives had ended, that he made it as quick as possible, you f***ing psycho. By talking about how he apologized to many of his victims before their deaths, he recounted that he would tell them that that's what love is all about. He also made clear the fact that he did indeed drink the blood of several victims, each from different wounds from the body of Han. He even claims to have thrown up from the sheer amount of sanguine that he had consumed. A true monster in every sense. Funnily enough, I made a video about what happens when you drink blood. It contains tons of iron, so it's really bad for you. It can, like, poison you. Don't do it. Important lesson. While awaiting trial, Curtin was approached and interviewed by one Dr. Carl Berg, a psychologist. He wanted to get a psychological profile of the vampire. He wanted to see what made him tick. Curtin spoke about much from the changing of weapons to his attempt to throw the police off to the number of stab wounds on each victim, signifying how long it would take him to reach a satisfying orgasm, even contradicting these claims by saying that it was all an attempt to strike back in an evil society that had warped and abandoned him. Alright, mate, yeah, chill the f*** out. You're just a psycho. Let's not try and get too high and mighty about it. It's like, oh, fighting back against society. What, by murdering children? You idiot. At the end of the day, Dr. Berg and a multitude of other psychologists, perhaps to the shock of many, declared that Peter Curtin was in fact sane. Really? Sociopathic, yes. Psychotic, no question. Insane? Well, no. He had full control over every deplorable atrocity he committed against all of his victims. He enjoyed every step of it, and he appreciated the calculated criminality of everything he did. On April the 13th, 1931, the vampire of Dusseldorf finally stood trial. He pled not guilty by reason of insanity, even after being given a clean bill of mental health by the doctors beforehand. When speaking on if he had any remorse for his victims, Curtin minced no words. I have no remorse. The prosecution was relentless in their case against Curtin. They brought in all the same doctors who talked on how this blood-sucking vermin was of sound mind when he did what he did. All the evidence pointed out how Peter stalked his victims. He followed them and was cold and calculated in his approach to cornering them. this way. The way he charmed several to follow him to the deserted areas where they would meet their sad ends. It was much like the hypnotic charm of a true-to-life vampire, with the most grim results imaginable. Presiding Judge Dr. Rose asked Curtin if he believed he had a conscience, and once again Curtin was quite clear. I have none. The punishments I have suffered have destroyed my feelings as a human being. That was why I had no pity for my victims. The Angel of Death will sound his trumpet for me. The trial of Peter Curtin lasted all of 10 days. Despite his attempts to convince them of his madness, it's safe to say the jury didn't buy a lick of it. They did retire to deliberate, and they returned after only 2 hours, guilty on all charges, 9 counts of murder, 7 counts of attempted murder. The vampire was said to have no expression as the verdict was read, though he attempted to feign remorse in his final address to the court, despite all he had previously said. Yeah, sure, Peter, you actually felt bad, and I'm Bela Lugosi. Now, I know by now that Simon has probably been ranting and raving about how this wannabe Nosferatu deserved the death penalty. Yeah, for sure. But, well, I think you and everyone else will be happy to hear that's exactly what he got. I'm curious about your reaction once I tell you exactly what happens. It wasn't a silver stake through the heart. It wasn't the first rays in the morning sun. It wasn't even being drowned in holy water. But it is a proven vampire killing method, so I'll take it. They're going to hang him, right? That's what they do. Or maybe chop his head off. 1930s? No, it's going to be hanging. In front of the whole court and every god who will listen, Judge Dr. Rose looked Peter Curtin directly in the eyes and sentenced him to death by beheading. Yes, the guillotine was still very much in vogue back in 1930s Germany. Well, oh my. Curtin refused to appeal the verdict, though he did seek a pardon from the Minister of Justice. This was, of course, firmly denied. Upon hearing of the news, Curtin simply nodded, took it in his stride, and asked for one last request. He asked for a confessor to be brought to his cell. He had something for him to do. Upon the man arriving, Curtin sat back, calm as can be, and asked the man to pen letters of apology to the relatives of all of his victims. He also asked for one final letter to be written to his wife, a letter of love and of farewell. These requests were accepted and promptly carried out. Peter Curtin received his last meal on July the 1st, 1931, Wiener Schnitzel, a bottle of white wine, and fried potatoes. After finishing, he asked for a second helping, which he received, being shown a touch more humanity in his final moments than he showed any of the poor souls he'd stolen away. Yeah, last meals, getting to choose what you want and having wine, that. You get the prison and then they kill you. Why? Why did you do that? His execution was carried out at 6 o'clock the next morning in the grounds of Klingelputz prison. He walked up to the guillotine, a neutral look on his pale face, no muss, no fuss, flanked by a prison psychiatrist and a priest. Just as he was leaning down to get into position, the vampire couldn't help himself one final time. Turning to the psychiatrist with the sincerest look on his face, he asked one last question. Tell me, after my head is chopped off, will I still be able to hear for at least a moment the sound of my own blood gushing from the stub of my neck? That would be the pleasure to end all pleasures, dude. Upon receiving no answer, good. He simply laid down on his back and waited for the moment to come. Looking up at the large blade glinting in the early morning sun, Peter Curtin couldn't help but smile. Drop, shink, thud, splash, thump. And just like that, the nightmare that had hung over all of Germany and her people had finally come to an end. Peter Curtin, the vampire of Dusseldorf, age 48, was dead. A wrap. And that's it. Dear audience, that's where our tale mercifully ends. I'd be lying to you all if I said it was easy. The depraved and disturbed acts orchestrated by Peter Curtin are some of the worst I've ever come across and will likely stick with me for some time. As the darkness of the shadows leaves us behind, we step out into a world of sunlight, a world where the vampire of Dusseldorf and the memory of his heinous crimes, I can say with earnestness, are simply not welcome. It's here that I need to once again send all my positive energy to the memories of the victims of this awful man. Christine Klein, Gertrude Franklin, Rosa Oliger, Rudolf Scheer, Maria Hahn, Louise Lenzen, Gertrude Hamacher, Ida Rauter, Elizabeth Dorier, Gertrude Alberman, not to mention the 2 boys he killed as a child and every one of the men and women he attempted to kill, but he managed to survive. This man was a monster, and I can only hope that wherever all these people are after leaving this world, they're now at peace, knowing he didn't get away with it. One final piece of information before we end today, and I believe it'll put a somewhat positive finish on this rather grim tale. Remember how the Beast of Senats had his head preserved in a jar of chemicals, or perhaps how William Burke's skeleton is still on full display at the Edinburgh Medical School, along with a notebook bound in his tanned skin? Well, everyone, let's go on a journey. Close your eyes for me, and picture if you will. We arrive in Wisconsin Dells, Wisconsin, and we're standing in front of Ripley's Believe It or Not Museum. We pay our entrance fee and proceed to walk the halls through the rooms, examining all the exhibits and oddities that they have on display. Soon enough, we come upon a certain glass case, and we see something quite macabre and interesting, and upon reading the plaque, it all comes into focus. Behind the glass, and suspended by a chained rig, is the mummified head of a man, a look of momentary pain forever plastered on his vile face. His head has been bisected right down the middle, his teeth flashing on both sides of the inside of his mouth. The cavity where his brain once belonged, now long empty. His vacant eye sockets stare at us hauntingly, as if begging for the final release that he perhaps never truly got. This is the final fate of the vampire of Dusseldorf, forever bound in brittle, paper-like skin for one and all to come and stare at. After his execution, his head was cut open, his brain removed in order to examine, to hopefully find what truly caused his mental state and the reason for his attacks on all those people. Sadly, to no avail. It was transported to the US and sold to the museum shortly after the end of World War II, where it remains on display to this very day. May his soul forever be in painful flux, forced to watch as hundreds of people come to stare and laugh at his hideous immortalized head for all time. Rot in hell, Peter Curtin. Dismembered appendices. Number 1. For all our wonderful book-learned listeners, you're probably picked up on the fact that every chapter of the title of our script is a quote or portion from Bram Stoker's Dracula. Yeah, I've never read it, and I did not pick up on that, but I did think the titles were rather nice. Given the subject matter, I figured this would be fitting, given the monstrous actions of today's antagonist. I'll take any small pleasure I can get. Number 2. While it seems inconceivable that a horrible rampage like the one Curtin went on could be so quickly forgotten, the next few months after his death did just that. Soon after the vampire lost his head, Hitler completed his rise to power and everything that came after. Well, we know what happens. Guess it goes to show that the only thing that can overshadow a demented madman is even more demented madman. Number 3. The interviews Curtin granted to Dr. Karlberg in 1930 and 1931 proved to be the first ever psychological study conducted on a sexual serial killer. Truly influential and important stuff. Dubbing Curtin the king of the sexual perverts, Berg used these interviews to form the basis of his book, The Sadist. Number 4. A stage play called Normal, the Dusseldorf Ripper premiered in August 1991 at Edinburgh's Pleasance Theatre. As one could surmise, it focuses on the case surrounding Peter Curtin. There's even a movie from 2009 based on the play. Stay classy, humanity. Indeed. Number 5. Sadly, Peter Curtin wasn't the only monster loose in the world at the time of this rampage. Just as he was terrorizing the populace of Germany in the mid-1920s across the pond in America, the shadows of the states were haunted by the beast simply known as Albert Fish. The vampire and the werewolf reigned together. The past truly, undisputedly, was the worst. Yeah, have we done a video on Albert Fish yet? If not, it's coming up. And it's horrible. Anyway, this has been an episode of The Casual Criminalist. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Rough one today. If you like this show, if you like what we do here, probably not. Please leave a review. That would be awesome. On YouTube, like, subscribe if you're watching there. And I'll see you next time.